Welcome back to the Nerdrotic channel, everybody. My name is Gary Beekler, and I am live in San Francisco, and I come to you from nerdrotic.com, and this is Friday Night Tights. How are you, everybody? I hope you're all doing well, having a good Friday night. Curious to see how many people have seen Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. The reason we are late is I took Nerdrotic Jr. to see that film, and I will give you my thoughts on it momentarily. A little bit later, we will have Susan joining us tonight. Dennis is on assignment. And yes, hello, everybody in the chat. How's it going? My God, I'm so happy it's Friday. It's been a great day. It's been a great day. We also have some Doctor Who news to talk about. There's a possibility of an old villain coming back, and they're going to have a new look. And the similarities between Doctor Who and Star Trek Discovery just continue, changing the look of your main villain. And I have some predictions, some funny ones and some real ones, but we'll get into that. There's also some news, some very interesting news. World Class Bullshitters did a brilliant video today on Esquire magazine, wrote another article saying basically the Star Wars was ruined by fans. Now, you know my thoughts on Star Wars. I'm done with Star Wars. I could care less about a franchise I used to love, and just don't care about it anymore. I'm over it. I'm glad the Fandom Menace fight's on, but I have just moved on. I consider that, I put that that's an L. That's a loss. We lost that one, unless they just redo everything with Luke. So we'll talk about that. But the article is just the way Jeff basically did the research, and he caught the guy lying, getting timelines wrong. Just everything about it was just it was an attack, and it would be nothing. But the Fandom Menace was kind of calming down, and this is going to fire everybody up. So maybe it was done on purpose to stoke the flames, get that going. I don't know, but we'll talk about that later. We also got some possible Henry Cavill Superman news. And we'll talk about whatever you want to talk about. We've got some news to lay on the table, but whatever you guys want to talk about, we could talk about Titans. We could talk about whatever. We got, when Susan comes in, we're going to get some stuff off of 1428elm.com. Maybe we'll mix in a little woo-woo. I don't know. It's Friday night. It's kind of open. And if you're new to the channel, because we have a lot of people who are new to the channel, we have been doing this Friday night live stream for about a year. And it's just a chance for us to talk, hang out. That's kind of all it is. So what is up? What we have: Lloyd, Philip A. Dimmick, Matt Guy, Ray Rain, Feisty Fan, and her wrench. What is up? Mary Ashmead. Glad you are feeling well enough to join us. That is great. Audit Watcher, Matt Guy. What's this? Knuckle Lavi, World Class Bullshitters. They are awesome. They are. How do I say that? I say that Knuckle Avi. Is that how we say it? If I said it wrong, I'm sorry. And Penn Farm Girls here, Mr. Twisted 72, Mark Lazerth, Cajun 451. Matthew Matson, hail Matthew Matson, and congratulations on acing your final, my friend. Enjoy your time off. I just binged season 3 of Preacher today. Loved it. Yeah, season 3 was solid. It was so good. Can't wait. And Preacher season 4 confirmed. Yes. I'm a Bryce 1544. So not Comcast this time. No, not this time. Action figure expert. How's it going? Kissantarosa. Woohoo! Yeah, I feel that way too. I'm pretty excited. Chris Persia is here. CD Horde. I Cthulhu is here. Look, like the whole gang is here. That's good. If I missed anybody, sorry, but we'll keep going up. And I got to get my news up here. And all right, so we're gonna start with my Spider-Man review, and then we'll get to the Doctor Who news while people are rolling in. And since Susan didn't see it, I'm just gonna and then she can come in afterwards. So Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. First, I must this episode is not brought to you by Pete's, but I love them. Hang on. Oh yes, sweet nectar of the gods. All right, Into the Spider-Verse. going in, I had mixed feelings. I don't like Sony. I don't like Amy Pascal, and this is straight up an Amy Pascal production. It says it right in the beginning of the movie. We have all seen the videos that if Spider-Man is a success at Sony, that lessens the chance of them doing a deal with the MCU. Nobody wants that, but Sony's that dumb. They would do it. So they've had a successful Venom, and if they have a successful animated movie, I don't know how well it's going to do. But and I know how some people, with the whole, SJW Marvel thing that's going on, Miles Morales has been put into that, unfortunately, but that's the writers. That's not the character. It's the character that I liked quite a bit in the Ultimate Universe, but to me, there is only one Spider-Man. I am a Spider-Man purist. I don't like the multiple Spider-Man things in the comics, but as a movie set aside, it was fucking brilliant. It was fucking brilliant. And the reason being, and let's call out Kathleen Kennedy right now, because Lord and Miller did this movie. And these guys are fucking good. I loved 21 Jump Street. I loved the Lego movie. I've kind of loved everything these guys have done. So how they got fired off of Solo, and then we got the piece of crap that we got. Kathleen Kennedy has that if they would have done that movie, it would have been good. I guarantee you it would have been good. And maybe the actors knew that. I don't know, but an animated movie to have. So, I mean, it just wasn't this two-dimensional thing, even though, I know. It had emotion. It was raw. You love Miles at the end. Oh my God. It even makes Spider-Gwen good. Like, she was a full-fledged good character in this movie. And I am a huge Spider-Man fan. And, part of the reason we have a Miles Morales is a lot of people feel like, oh God, we've seen like 2 versions of Spider-Man already. We've already seen Peter Parker a million times. We know Peter Parker. I am here to tell you folks, because a lot of people don't read the comics, and Feisty out there can agree with me. You have not seen the real Spider-Man on screen yet. You haven't seen the real stuff. The closest thing to the real Spider-Man that you will have ever seen is probably the 90s animated series. The 90s animated series is the closest thing to the real Spider-Man from the comics that you've seen. The movies, while some of them I love the Sam Raimi versions, they are nowhere near the definitive Spider-Man. In the first 10 minutes and in parts of this movie, there's a lot of Peter Parker. You see the definitive Spider-Man, like the real Spider-Man as a man, okay, not Spider-Boy, which, a lot of the movies like to do. Tom Holland's character is nowhere near what they presented in here in moments, not all moments. The style of it is beautiful. The music is great. It was funny. There's like some really heavy emotional moments. One they ruined. I think that they did that Disney thing where they give you an emotional moment and then they do something funny just to pull you out of it, which that kind of annoyed me. But and yes, you saw a lot of stuff in the trailer, but the trailer didn't put the story together as well. It was just pieces of it, so I don't feel like any of it got spoiled for me. I give this movie, man, like a 9 out of 10. It was so good. It was a little longer than I thought it would be because I thought I'd be back in time. So I'm like, fuck it, because we saw it on a whim today. The voice work was brilliant. The music was brilliant. The only gripe I have is I paid money to go to this XD and I got like vectoring. There was lines and everything because it was a digital projection, and to be super nerdy and technical, dropping frames. There was some drop frames all over the place, but doesn't matter because the story is great. And you see like true Spider-Man action, something like a movie, a live action movie is going to have a hard time doing. It gets extremely artsy at times, and a character who I've always kind of liked, but now that I've seen the movie and seen this character in action, I just have a whole new vision of the Prowler. The Prowler is amazing in this. Just his powers, his use of powers, how they do it. I'm like, wow, I never looked at the Prowler like that. And Oh God, and it's the ultimate universe, right? So I mean, there's some villains, and I don't want to totally spoil it because yeah, there's some villains you haven't seen that are going to pop up in there. Maybe some Sinister Six villains. Um, the main villain is the Kingpin, and it's a beautiful story. It really is. I applauded at the end. I can't remember the last time I did that at a movie. It starts out with the freaking comic code, and I just that you sold me right there. And oh my god, there is a scene, I won't ruin it, that will just that if you don't have a little tear in your eye, you're a robot. You're not human. You're not freaking human. You probably know. I won't tell you what scene it is, but when that scene happens, it's like a punch in the stomach, but like a good one. It's like, oh my god, I was not expecting that. And goddamn. They did a nice thank you to Stan Lee and Steve Ditko at the end. I didn't say to see if there was any after the credit scene. And no, on Monday I'll do a full on spoiler review, and we can discuss it. Let's try not to. There's not a ton to spoil here, but it was great. I freaking loved it. Some people are complaining about the animation. I mean, I don't care about that stuff. It's like it was good enough for me. I'm not a yeah. I don't get hung up on that stuff. So I thought the animation was okay. I thought it was okay. It told a good story, and man, it was fucking good. And yeah, yeah, I'm a comic dork, and I'm good. But this was for comic fans. It was straight up a love letter to comic fans, and yeah, they're gonna eat it up. They're gonna eat it up. So let's see what y'all got to say. How many of you have seen it? Um, right. How's it going? How's it going? Sony is still moving forward with the Sinister Six film, by the way, said Silhouette and Animator. Yeah, just they're gonna Sony. Don't worry, Sony will screw up. Sony, Amy Pascal will screw up. I guarantee it. So just wait for it to happen. Because yeah, this Spider-Man cinematic universe. The only way a cinematic universe can work is if you have a Kevin Feige, and Sony does not have that. So it's not going to work. Um, Remember, when scoring on Rotten Tomatoes, never put a half star or it won't be counted. Use at least 1 star when drubbing a show that died. That's a good point. Exapat 111. I didn't mention in my video because I wasn't sure, but the videos that count are the ones with the little flags on the bottom. So if you go through there and you see how many aren't counted, I think what's it at now? What's Doctor Who at now? I heard it was at 40. I'm not sure if that's true. Spins of webs any side. Man, they threw everything Spider-Man possible in this. I did not catch every Easter egg, but they threw love to the 67 animated. Seeing Peter Porker was fucking awesome. Yeah, everything about it was cool. It was just fun. It was fun. There was no politics or nothing. And oh my god, there was a good dad. Holy shit. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, no, they're gonna make him divorced or something like that. They're gonna change. Nope, they did. They kept it. They're married. The couple's married and they're happy. And dad loves his son. And he's not like he's a little hard on him, but he's the proper hard on him, like making him go to the right school and everything. I loved it. That was good. I do love my Pete's. Nicholas Horton says Spectacular Spider-Man was the first animated Spider-Man I watched. That is a good. I love Spectacular Spider-Man, and I love the Venom origin from that too. He does whatever a spider can. Spider-Man the animated series is the best. I was just discussing that with Nerdrotic Jr. It's so funny how Nerdrotic Jr. is really up to speed on the whole Sony Amy Pascal thing, and he's like, "Oh man, I really don't want this movie to succeed. I want to have fun, but I don't generally. In the comics, Silk and Gwen are meh to me. um, I am a closet Ben Reilly fan, and it's funny because they give kind of a Easter egg they kind of give a shout out to Ben Reilly in this. The only thing they didn't have that I didn't see, I might have missed it, was Spider-Man 2099. That kind of bummed out Logan. But where's the avocado toast? In my stomach, CD Horde. In my stomach. What's up, official Dougie J? You lurker. I didn't listen to Doomcock's live stream last night. I was on another live stream, so I'm gonna have to listen to it later. I'm gonna have to. So nobody saw it. Nobody cares. I don't know if the movie is gonna do well or not, but yeah, I loved it. I loved it. Doctor Who is at 40%. Let's take a look. Let's take a look before you invite in Susan. Let's go to Rotten Tomatoes and check up. God, I was thinking like I'd do an update video like a week or two from now, but not so soon if it dropped. All I know is I haven't checked my Twitter in 48 hours, and I don't think I've ever gotten that much clap back in my life. It's kind of funny. Okay, let's go to Doctor Who. Talk amongst yourselves. We do have Doctor Who news, but I want to bring Susan in for that. God, the search on these things is so dumb. Come on. There we go. Sorry. Here. I'm gonna read some chat while I put in the search, and it just maybe it doesn't want me to do it live. Oh man, that is funny. I'll read some chat. Yeah, I'm putting in the search. It won't come up right now. I predicted it might. I don't know if it's. I thought some people were going to come and try to defend Doctor Who, especially after I did the video, because that tends to happen. But they haven't yet. They haven't yet. And yeah, somebody just told me in the comments that it was down to 40%. But if you, I'm typing in Doctor Who right now, and it just won't bring up the series at all. I was doing some research at Ghostbuster, and the tomato meter wasn't even going for the Ghostbusters 2016 critics. Maybe they wanted it all scrubbed. There we go. There it is. Sorry. God dang. Hate that. There we go. Doctor Who season 11. Oh, look at that. 94% and 37%. Oh, no. Oh, shit. There's no defenders for this at all. Dang. Here, I better put 1 star in so it counts. I just put LOL. Let's go take a look at some of these. Oh my God. It's dropped 8% since we did a video. It's dropped 8%. I don't want to. I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I'm getting blind here, folks. So Fred B gives it a 1.5 stars, and of course Heather says, "My God, this is no longer Doctor Who. It's completely unrecognizable, and it's painful to watch. To start, I have been a Doctor Who fan for a very long time. Personally, I like classic Who better. John Pertwee, Tom Baker, Heather, my kind of gal, are my favorites. That's not to say I didn't like the new Doctor Who shows. I did find them entertaining. But that is the key word here, entertaining. The 11th season was not entertaining at all. It was more like an hour of constant lecture, SJWPC nonsense. If you wanted to be lectured about political nonsense, I'd turn on CNN or MSNBC. The 11th Doctor is so boring. It's filled with sexist, racist garbage. It has no story, no plot, no true bad guys except the narrative about white males. I am sad to say that because I have always had Doctor Who in my life, I even have a Doctor Who. I even have my the Doctor Who comic books from my youth with Tom Baker, with the Tom Baker Doctor. Those are damn good comics. Go to your local comic store and find those. By the way, Feisty can help you with that. She can order. There's a IDW collection of Dave Gibson's Tom Baker comics that is fucking beautiful. It's a big old book and it's pretty cheap. Those that are responsible for this mess, I don't know how you got your jobs, but you have made me so mad that the franchise I have loved for decades is now ruined and unwatchable. P.S. I gave it 1 star because halves don't count. It deserves no stars. And she got a flag. There's the flag right there, folks. There's the flag. Yeah, let's see if there's any defenders. Let's find the defend. Oh, well, that doesn't tell me much except that picture. Colin. No personal attacks. I'm sure Colin's a nice bloke. Looking for defenders. Okay. Magdalene M. 4.5 stars. Just as good, if not better, than the last 5 seasons. Whitaker does an amazing job with a stellar cast and great writing to boot. Okay. Cite some examples, please, Magdalene, next time. That's 3.5 stars. An over 50-year-old show that once brought high levels of entertainment and intrigue is now scratching the bottom of the barrel. The terrible PC-infested writing and cringe-worthy performance from Jodie Whittaker only just scratched the surface on how bad this show is. Too politically correct. And this is going to go along with this article that I'm going to, I mean, like if you've seen the World Class Bullshitters article, I mean, Jeff dissects it perfectly. Jeff did the research. Jeff did the work, but I'm going to relate it to what kind of what I'm experiencing here with the Doctor Who stuff, because they really, they being the people who are clapping back at me, most are fine. Most are respectable, but there's some that just want to take this leap because I don't like a TV show that I'm in this box, right? They like people like really love to label people and put people in something, and like I'm not really no, they're really wrong about me. But I mean that's fine, that's okay, and us and everybody here, because that's like it's such a blanket statement, and that stuff, the names being thrown around because you don't like a TV show. Because people feel free to just like accuse people of like really horrible things now with absolutely no repercussions whatsoever. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird, and it's yeah, fucking Russian bots. Yeah, Jeff's hello Mako. Jeff's video was epic today. I listened to it while I was working out. I was like, that was good, kid. That was good, son. Good, well done. Well done. Let's get Susan in here. Oh, didn't I tweet that? I thought I tweeted that. Didn't I tweet? Yeah, I did. Okay. So let's get Susan in here. Copy and paste. Oh, there she is. Boom. Here you go. There you go, Susan. All right. I'm going to read the chat. Oh, my Lord, the pizza's kicking in now. Woo, doggy. Silhouetted Animator, $5 super chat. DC Animated, the Ray Freedom Fighters film did this political stuff far more cringy and unsuitable, in my opinion. Have you seen it? No. I heard it was, and that's why I did not watch it. That's why I bailed out on the CW Silhouetted Animator. It wasn't just feelings in hallways. That scene from Elseworlds that I talked about during my review was exactly why I don't watch it. Lois Clark is hi Susan. Clark is complimenting Lois Lane, overly complimenting Lois Lane on what a great reporter she is, and she's a superior reporter. Does Lois say thank you? No. Lois walks up to Clark and goes, and yet I make 20 cents an hour less than you do. And I'm like, what? Okay. All right. Yep, that's CW. So, And listen, she wouldn't be making less money than Clark. All right, maybe in the 50s, but not today. Not at the newspaper. Not if she was like the writer. Hi, speaking of writers, speaking of badass reporters, Susan's here.
Hey.
How's it going?
Oh, just fine. Just fine.
Okay, so tell me, like, how sick were you?
I was really sick. I mean, it's funny now. It wasn't at the time, but I was telling the guys in the chat, I'm currently rehabbing my ankle because apparently somehow or other I passed out on my kitchen floor, woke up, wondered why I was on the kitchen floor, tried to get up, fell down because my ankle is like totally messed up.
Oh no.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was pretty funny because when I woke up, I was like, I thought I was in my bed. I'm like, wow, I feel rested. Then I look up and see the ceiling. I'm like, oh, this can't be good.
Oh shit! I
And
don't mean to laugh.
no,
Oh
it is
no.
funny. No, it is funny because I was like, wow, this can't be good. Because one minute I think I was sitting on a stool, and the next minute I'm like, I almost pulled a William Holden in the stereo cabinet because my head was like right up against our stove, and I'm like, this is bad.
Oh my god. Susan. Well, yeah. I mean, at least you're getting it all out of the way during the holidays,
Yeah.
when
Oh, yeah.
things aren't busy. So it's really a good time to be relaxing. And yeah.
No, it's like deck the halls, and yeah, things are great. I mean, because if you want to get sick at the holiday time because nothing says happiness and sunshine and Christmas lights than that. That's great times.
Great times. Good day, Tarka Jedi. How are you, Professor Fez? Greetings, Mark Lazarth, of course. Yeah, the gang's all here. Captain Robert April is on the bridge. Everybody, Captain Robert April. Have you? How close are you to 1,000 subs, buddy? Did you get scrubbed today? We got scrubbed today, big time. But it's like I don't want to sound ungrateful because it got made up pretty quick. It's been a little crazy around here, folks. I mean, we're not growing at the like around this time is when Geeks and Gamers started blowing up like huge. We're not growing at that pace, but we're growing at a decent clip right now. So, but we lost 50 subs today. Oh, shit.
Oh,
Yeah, it got. But they've been warning us for 2 days. They've been like, yeah, we're gonna do a purge. They actually do one every week, but I guess they did a big one. So,
why?
Bots.
Oh, okay.
Because YouTube's analytics, people can actually see them and they pay attention to them and they make all of their money off that. So they have to be legit. They have to be real. Yeah. And but it was fine. You lost 4 subs. That's okay. That's okay. Yeah. 50 was 8% in one day. Jesus. Yeah. That's how much it went down. Doctor Who's audience score. And when I did the video, it was 45%. It's at 37 now.
No.
Oh, wow. People are just mad. And they waited. People actually waited. I was this mad before, but people were like, no, let's wait and see it. And I'm like, okay, I understand that. So, fuck it. This was I cannot believe I was almost not going to watch it this year. I was like really resigned to like, just fuck it. You guys can have it. And I'm kind of right there now anyway, but
It pretty much sucked.
oh god, it was sucked. I mean, if you wanted to shut people like me up who were against Jody, just write a good episode and then we'd have nothing to say. There'd be like we'd be just all but they gave us all the ammo we needed by being everything we thought they'd be. Political, dumb. I mean, just dumb.
Yeah, I gotta, to be honest, I haven't really liked this season. I'm not really into the New Year's episode that's coming up because I don't think it's going to be all that in a bag of chips either.
No, they're really trying to push this. You're absolutely right. As this cinematic event, and they showed a car skidding out, which I mean, Wow. You know, like,
Yeah, because that's what you expect from Doctor Who. You expect, power slides and shit.
yeah, and fucking yeah, cars chases and um yeah, this episode was thrown together. They I guess this has been kind of a thing lately. I always thought that they did the Christmas specials like while they were shooting the season because it would make sense. You have all the actors there, you have the crew there. It's cheaper. But I guess they film it separately and they call everybody back, and sometimes they can't get everybody back. And I think there was something that delayed the production, or they had to change something last minute because they knew the audience tracking was shit, which they did. They flat
Yeah.
out did. That audience score is real, folks, and they knew it a long time ago. They being the BBC. So they had to like, oh shit, we got to bring the Daleks back. Chris, I don't care what you said, because Chris Chibnall said over and over again, we're not bringing back villains in season 11, and he meant the Christmas special.
That's so freaking stupid because I was talking about that tonight. I mean, even Star Trek, okay, when they had from the original series to all their other incarnations, they still kept the core evil, evil empires and the core good people. You saw the Vulcans, you saw the Romulans. They didn't go away, but apparently Chibnall thinks, oh hell, this is Doctor Who. We don't need Daleks. We don't need Cybermen. We just need this. And this isn't even Doctor Who to me. I'm sorry. It's not Doctor Who. I don't know what it's trying to be, but Doctor Who it isn't.
No. Well, hey, if you got time, I don't know what you're doing New Year's Day, but if you want to join me for the recap, join me. It'll be funny. It'll be funny. So yeah, you can. I'm trolling them a little bit with my thumbnail because there was an article that I'm not sure if this is the one that said it, but I'll read this anyway. Because it was the Metro. I know I don't want to search it out, but here we'll just look at this one. So the Daleks have been rumored to return. By the way, this is still a rumor. I'm not 100% sold that they're coming back.
Yeah.
I'm not, because when asked directly, Chris Chibnall answered with, I said, I don't know how many times I got to tell you they're not returning in season 11. And people go, well, it's technically not season 11. Well, yeah, it is. The Christmas special during that season always came on your Blu-rays, right? Or your DVD. Like the season 5 Christmas special came with, I think one time they did it different, but like just once. So as the rest of season 11, as with the rest of season 11, details on the upcoming New Year's special for Doctor Who I got to look at the one I can actually read. I'm sorry, folks. Are being kept tightly under wraps. However, there's a big fan theory surrounding the episode everybody expects to come true. After a year without them or any other classic monsters, a year, try 2 years. It's been 2 years, okay? People think Doctor Who's nemesis, the Daleks, will return in the special. Well, it's because they strongly hinted it. She says in the trailer, the DNA of the most dangerous creature in the universe, and if it turns out to be that tooth fairy effer again, I think even the defenders of the show will revolt. And the evidence just keeps stacking up. The theory actually predates the first promo from the hour-long adventure, but that definitely added fuel to the fire. The teaser revealed that the episode will see the TARDIS team discovering that an alien evil has been buried on our Earth for centuries. I don't think there's anything that's ever done that story before. Or the world. Something the Doctor describes as the most dangerous creatures in the universe, and one which will kill anything it gets in its path. That sounds a lot like the Daleks to us. What's more, fans also think the special's title could be holding a secret. What resolution? what can you read into that? According to some folks, resolution could be part of a real name of the episode, which might be the resolution of the Daleks. That could be the people overthinking it, yes. But it does sound a lot like a classic Doctor Who story, Resurrection of the Daleks, What's the resolution of the Daleks?
I'm looking at this. When I read this, I know what they're doing with this. It's called, you have a certain word count. You have to And so you start spinning theories. I'm not proud of it, but I actually did it with a current article. But if you're going to do that, do it where it makes sense. Don't just start, putting this stuff in, well, we think because it says an ancient evil that's buried on Earth, it's the Daleks. It could be anything. That doesn't say Daleks to me. And that just says to me that they were looking for filler to make this article so that it reached their word count.
Oh yeah, when they start like recapping episodes from the 5th season, like in detail, it's like, yeah, they're definitely on a word count. I agree. Word salad.
Yeah.
I mean, they're repeating right here. After all, the special isn't airing this year. It's coming on January 1st, 2019. We didn't pick up on this at the time, as we thought we were getting a usual Christmas episode instead. But now it looks like Chibnall may be sublimely telling us that we could expect a certain familiar foe. Blah, blah, blah. So it was the Metro, by the way, folks, that says that the Daleks are coming back with a new look. So my prediction right now, female Dalek.
Wait a minute, though.
I'm only half joking.
I know, but I'm thinking, didn't we have that with Clara's first incarnation? I forget her name.
She was
Oswald.
Well, when you're put into a Dalek, you're sexless. They don't have a sex.
Yeah,
they're blobs. They're octopus blobs of mutated former humans. I mean, they started out as humans, and yes, no, I think they will. I think they'll be. Well, they were talking about them moving to a queen of the Daleks with the whole Clara thing, and that was kind of like one of the red herrings too, since there was a Borg queen, which really, if you really think about it, is ridiculous. But
you know what? I think I got it though. Let's not do the Daleks. Let's do the Cybermen, and I'll tell you why. You could make the Cybermen sexy. You could get all the curves like those 1960s skin tight jumpsuits, and you could make the female queen of the Cybermen, people.
They can have the Cyber woman from Torchwood, the one from Torchwood that had the cyber bikini on. Here she is. Oh my Lord, they need freaking. You can assimilate me anytime, baby. I know it's different, but that's what we need. That's not objectifying at all. That's fucking awesome. I love Torchwood. Oh, Jesus Christ. She looks cold. Give her a coat. Oh, man.
Why don't we just bring back Jerry Ryan and she'll just play that?
Yeah. Well, if Jerry Ryan was worth what in the ratings? Like she was worth. They actually had a percentage attached to her for each. For each
this
boob.
Is like a dominatrix experiment gone awry.
It does. Well, at least
word.
The Cybermen have a hierarchy. They have a cyber leader. So that would make sense. It would make sense. The Daleks. Yeah, they had a hierarchy too. They had, the Emperor of the Daleks and the God of the Daleks during Eccleston's run, which was awesome. I am a god. Did Chibnall do that Cyberwoman thing? He might have written that episode. I don't know. He wrote episodes for Torchwood. I can't say I can recall who wrote that episode. I actually liked that episode a lot. I thought it was good because it had a good twisty ending. Like you knew Torchwood was different because their endings were always like they lost a lot. They got beaten a lot. So I mean, a lot of it shit doesn't make sense too. Okay, I know some of the Torchwood stuff was really bad, but I still liked it.
What kills me with Chibnall is he was a writer, and you would think coming from a writer, the environment, if you get promoted, because most writers get promoted to executive producers or showrunners. That's how it works. But it's like you would think if you wrote for this show, you wouldn't do half the shit he's doing. It just doesn't make sense. It just does not add up.
No, I think he's I'm going to defend him a little bit. I think he signed up and he probably didn't realize or thought he could. Listen, I signed up on my job thinking I would work out.
Mm-hmm.
Noticing the red flags, and I went ahead and did it anyway. So that's probably what he did. He probably thought I could work with this. And then he realized that, again, I'm only half joking when I say, I bet you there is, there's the Bechdel test, right? So I'm sure the BBC has a form that they pass out to the writers, or there's some HR thing where they're all, okay, when you write, you have to include these things, one of these things. And it's a list of, let me guess, 100 things. And like, you have to include like 20 of the 100 things each episode, even in passing. Some stuff you can mention in passing, some stuff has to be part of the story. I fucking guarantee you that's what's going on. That's why the whole writing room thing has really become a big thing, because you can, basically fire people out of the room whenever you want. And yeah, they had a couple people leave the room early this year. So
I think you're right, because the BBC, from what I remember correctly, and this is going off of what happened with Top Gear, the BBC actually called in Jeremy Clarkson to explain the name of his dog that he had, because they felt it was politically incorrect. So if they're doing that with somebody's personal life and with the name of a pet, I can only imagine that you're probably right. They're given a checklist for things that they have to knock off for these episodes. It would not surprise me at all.
No, you've worked down there. And that, like, especially middle management at the Hollywood corporations, those are people just trying to justify their jobs like every second of every day. And I'm like, God, the ridiculous stuff they would do. The ridiculous stuff they would do. I should do a video on that someday. Just of like the team building shit we did that was just insane, or like how set-top boxes were going to change the world. It was, K9 got neutered. What was the dog's name? Anyway, I'm curious about that.
The dog, okay, the dog was how can I say this without being politically incorrect? The dog was a black Scottie.
Yep.
I believe that was the breed. And Clarkson named it after a black soccer player on his favorite football team. And the BBC felt that that was racist. And that's why he got called into the office. And he's like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm in here because of my dog's name. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So somebody wrote a letter, and like, worse, somebody took it seriously. And they could have been just trolling.
Yeah.
It is confirmed. Thank you, Chris Persia.
Mr. Twisted 72 said Didier Dogba. That was the name of his dog, named after the player.
Wow. That's fucking unbelievable.
Yeah.
Confirmed Chibnall did write the Cyberwoman episode. Thank you, Chris Persia. I appreciate that. Greetings, Tarka Jedi. That's dude. I bet you know what? The more I think about, I think he kind of sabotaged his way out of the BBC, to be honest with you.
Yo, Jeremy, I think he had the shits of it, because he even came out and said they were like strangling Top Gear with like everything that they wanted to do. It was the beginning for them of the end, because they weren't a very politically correct show. And the BBC and Lord Hall, I think his name is, that runs the BBC, they were starting to basically become very politically correct. And now we're seeing the fruits of that labor with what's happening with Doctor Who.
Oh, yeah. It's going to crash and burn. It's going to crash and burn. I'm sticking to I think it's either Jodie's leaving after season 12. She's leaving. Chris Chibnall's leaving. She's leaving. And I think that might be it. I don't know if we're close to an anniversary. We're not, because it was the 50th anniversary in 2012. So we're past the 50. Yeah, we're nowhere near to the 60. So yeah, I don't see it going on. This whole like skipping every year and coming back. Even if your show gets good ratings, if you're only getting good ratings every other year, I don't know how that pays off for you. I don't know how that, like, unless you have something, they don't have anything equal to it to like take its place. So you can like maybe do a Torchwood one year and then a Doctor Who another year. Now that would make sense. But yeah, what do they have genre wise to take its place? That's at that level. And Doctor Who is at that, well, was at that level. It won't be for long, but I mean, it's, it's not quite Star Trek and it's not nowhere near Star Wars, but it's up there. But it's another thing lost. It's another thing lost, and lost to people who do not give a shit. They are going to be, they just burn their way through it on to the next thing.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate because when you have something that's like that culturally entrenched, like Doctor Who, you're right. It's not a Star Wars or a Star Trek, but it is part of pop culture. And to see it do like a slow, painful death, which is what we're seeing now, we started hearing the death rattle with Capaldi. And now it's like full-fledged. We're getting toward life support now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Was it the Daily Mail? Maybe it was the Daily Mail that said it's going to be a new look. I just want to make sure I didn't imagine that. So I'm not.
Friends of Ood Kind says Clarkson should be the doctor. Oh God.
Should be prime minister.
Oh yeah, he'd be great.
At the very least,
He is.
mayor of London. Although your mayor of London's pretty wacky. That's
God, Boris.
Boris.
He could comb his hair a couple times. That would be nice. Thanks, Boris.
That's an unusual hairstyle. It really is. Yeah, this was the article. It was a Daily Mail. So I just want to make sure. Yeah. So it was a Daily Mail, not the that said the Daleks are going to have a new look. Now I don't know how accurate the Daily Mail is. Oh, it was the Mirror that originally said that the Daleks will have a new look. So yeah, I'm looking more into that. And there's also there's this huge article on speculation for season 12 from Screen Rant. You want to talk about? I was going to share it tonight, but it was one of those ones you were talking about that like the guy just needed to fill a word count. So he recapped season 11 like by episode by episode. And I'm like, there's no, and then by the end he's all, we really have no idea what we're gonna get in season 12, and it's so far off. We haven't even heard anything. It's like they haven't even started writing it. They didn't even know they're getting a season 12 until like a week ago. So Russell Brand. I used to like him. Well, I saw him in Forgetting Sarah Marshall. That was pretty much my only experience with him. But
get him to the Greek too. I saw that one.
Oh yes. Yeah, that was actually pretty good. I kind of like that. I saw the trailer for Will Ferrell's Holmes and Watson.
Oh my God.
Oh God. It's probably gonna be awful, and I'm probably gonna love it. So yeah. I love Step Brothers. I'm almost ashamed to say that though.
No, don't be. I love that movie. Every time it's on, I stop what I'm doing and watch it. Because that bunk bed scene, I mean, when you're a kid, I thought, man, I want to build some bunk beds, and that's exactly what would have happened.
Oh, it's fucking hilarious. And so I take that movie to sometimes I like, not as much anymore, but I used to do overnights at rehabs, just like babysit them, make sure they're not like having sex and sneaking off and doing drugs or anything. So I have to stay up all night. But I did movie night with them, and I'd always take Step Brothers because, like, what they need to do is laugh. And you get a bunch of people like who, like 2 weeks ago, were living on the street, and then you have them like on their asses, laughing their asses off. It's kind of good. And Step Brothers does it every single time.
Of course it does. Boats and hose, like Matt Guy said. Yep. I love that. Boats and hose.
Boats and hose. Knuckle Eve says unsub for liking Step Brothers.
Oh damn!
Hey, well, I own it. I like it with no shame. Sorry, you can. There's 50 other people who joined you today, but we're way up, which is awesome. I haven't even checked really. We're gonna get to that Esquire thing in a minute. It's really something else. That article. I don't think this Matt Miller who's the associate culture editor for Esquire, and he looks like he's 10. Really knows what he just stepped in, dude.
Yeah, like I told you in the pre-production meeting, I have like definite thoughts on that.
Yep. Any thoughts on Elijah Dushku's settlement?
Sorry, I don't mean to laugh. I saw that and I was like, wow, okay. Yeah. And it's interesting because nobody, as far as I know, up until her, ever complained about Michael Weatherly. I never saw anything in any publications when he was on NCIS. Nothing.
So what, fill me in on this. I have no idea what's going on.
Well, apparently she was on Bull. I just took a cursory look at it. She was on Bull. She alleged that Michael Weatherly made some inappropriate comments. So there they started, the proceedings, and now she got a settlement. And when I saw that, that's like, I thought to myself, I've never heard of anybody complaining about Michael Weatherly. I never heard anything from NCIS, nothing from when he was on that, but apparently that went down. So now she has a settlement.
Eliza Dushku, who allegedly was with Joss Whedon they were very friendly at a con. And
she was with Seth MacFarlane too.
Yeah, they were hooking up. I'm going to just guess at that because I've seen people hook up before, and I've hooked up before, and it's like, that was definitely like hookup look, like in front of God and everybody at the con, to the point where like my wife, who was not familiar with any situation, was like, they look like they're about to like have sex right there on the stage. I'm all, I know. Yeah, it was crazy. So that Eliza Dushku. I like Faith. 5x5. She got her 5x5. Oh man. Yeah, god damn it, now I forgot what I was gonna do.
Owner Tim said she said he made some off-color comments and got $9 million separation paycheck.
Jesus.
And Matthew Matson said that Abby left NCIS over stuff happening on set. Maybe she just kept quiet about Michael. That may be true. Perry, I forget Perry's last name, but I know she left after a while, but she never really said why.
Oh man, it must suck to work in Hollywood right now. It actually must not be fun at all.
No, and Mr. Twisted said that she alleged that she was in line to become a regular on the show and was written out after confronting Weatherly.
Sounds like
it isn't fun to work in Hollywood now. It's not even fun to do anything.
It wasn't fun before.
No, I mean, we're talking about a town that can't fucking get a host for the Oscars. And now we're talking about not having a host. And I'm thinking, how is that going to work? Is that going to be like pub trivia night where they just toss up A, B, C, D, and E as, best actor and actress, and then they flash the answer and somebody prompts these people to go on stage? I mean, how's this going to work?
Hollywood's collapsing, folks. This is it. This is how it's happening. It's getting now. We're still going to get entertainment. We're still going to get TV shows and all that stuff. But like Hollywood, the corporate structure at Hollywood is falling apart. And it's like the record industry. They're kind of getting what they deserved. I hate to say it. I hate to see a business go. There's a lot of people who didn't do anything wrong, and are getting punished for this. But yeah. It sucks. Hey, I got to get to some super chats here. A bunch we got before we went live because Movie Fanobi decided to shower them on us. He made it rain. God damn it. Movie Fanobi for $1.99. Happy Friday, Gary Susan. Exhausted, can't stay. But then he sends another super chat. $1.99. Queen Pen gave Gary an awesome bearded curd.
Wow. Okay.
So there's a thing called a nerd curd, and their logo looks a lot like ours. And she made this for me. And it got I love it. It's got a little Pete's coffee, and it's like, that's awesome. And avocado toast.
Oh my god,
it's fucking awesome. It's the greatest thing. I love it. So thank you, Penn Farm Girl. Thank you, Movie Fanobi. And then Again, $1.99. You were brave, my friend. Patreon, proud of you. I did a thing on Patreon. Yeah, not to lose too many subs here. I told my AA story on Patreon a couple days ago. Yeah, got real, and nobody left. It was nice. Nobody left my Patreon, so I was very happy about that. Silhouetted animator for $5. DC's animated. I'm going to read this again, but DC's animated The Ray. Freedom Fighters did all the political stuff, far more cringy and unsuitable in my opinion. Have you seen it? And my answer, of course, was no, but I heard about that. That's why I didn't watch it, because I just didn't want to get pissed. The Doctor 14 Blu-ray reviews. Hi from oh my God, I can't even pronounce that. What's YNYSY? Yin Buell? Are you just trying to make somebody tried to make me say I like, or somebody made me say I like poo? Which I would have said it for free if you just ask. A Yin Bull. I have no idea what that is. Dr. 14 Blu-ray reviews. Thank you for the £2, my friend. This is what you get when you have a state-run broadcast. That is why US TV is better than UK TV. Yeah, at the most part. And I used to like UK TV more than I liked US TV. But something changed in 2012. And this is before, everybody blames everything on what happened, the election in 2016. No, this shit's been going on longer than that. And I was seeing it in my comic shop when I still owned it. I saw this stuff creeping in. And yeah, there's actually a theory I have, but I'm going to save that for the Exozone, which is tomorrow night. I think it's way more creeper conspiracy kind of thing, tinfoil stuff that belongs on that show, not on this show. But we are caught up on thanks, Susan. We are caught up on the super chats. Cool. Well, yeah, let's read some chat here. Oh my God, I got to blow that thing up. My eyes are getting worse, man. They're getting worse. That's better. The font size is like 275% blown up, but now I can read everything. Oh my God, Doctor Who pregnant. That would be yeah. Oh, Eliza Dushku is hot. Well, she's good looking. Yeah, she definitely is. She definitely is. What does this one say? She alleged that she was in line to become. Oh, you read that already. To become a regular, and okay, yeah, that's Eliza Dushku alleged that. Eliza, or is it somebody else?
It looks like it was her.
Okay. So CBS has $9.5 million to pay her off, but is bullying Anas. Yeah, time to bury CBS. Absolutely, Carrie Dalton. Well played. Well played. Yeah, I'm sure. You know what? They could have settled with Anas. I'm betting for a lot less than that. A lot less than that. I think Anas was willing to work with CBS for a long time. If you go back and read, he gave him a year when he didn't have to do that. And but when he got pissed, and I love it. I love that Anas is the guy suing CBS. He hasn't asked for like a penny of crowdfunding, and we have offered it. We have like, can we give you money? He's like, nah, we're good. Right now we're good. And just he's fiery now, but it's right. He's like, I just want justice. I want what's mine. I want my rights. That's it. So I dig it. I really like his chutzpah, as they say. Polly Perrette left because of Mark Harmon's dog. Really?
I don't think so. But
that's. I mean, I could listen. I believe it. That shit happens in Hollywood all the time. People are very neurotic down there. Hollywood deserves to collapse. Endless Echo 3. Well, a lot of it is, my friend. The post-production houses that were all over Burbank even 5 years ago. I mean, there used to be a post-production scene in Burbank. There were so many of us down there. Right. We were hitting the coffee shops, and like it was like happening. It was a fun place to be. It's empty. They're all gone. They've moved to Bangalore. I mean, there's still stuff in Burbank, but I mean, the only people who hung on are the people who are just like lifers, kind of people who, because like you're not going to get promoted Yeah, it sucks. There's a lot of guys who had a lot of experience who had to go find something else to do. Because there's no work. Like a pre-mastering technician doesn't even exist anymore. And if it does, it's in India. It's not here. That's
No.
something Technicolor made up anyway. That's a position that they made up. Daleks present the Oscars. That's yes. And the best picture goes to Get Out. Get Out.
We had the $2 from Lloyd. Thank you, Lloyd.
Thanks, Lloyd. I'm going to get to that window right now. Dun, 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 dun. If it wants to work. Oh, no, that's not it. There we go. Lloyd, thank you for the $2 super chat. And you nothing to say? You could ask me a question. You can ask Susan a question. You could ask that anyway. You don't need to pay.
AMA.
They would exterminate the audience. When I was looking up that picture for the pink dollet, it was all decorate. I was like, I can't put that on the thumbnail, but that was funny. That would be so funny. Oh my God. So what are your predictions, everybody, for the Daleks' different look? Again, I'm only half kidding when it says first female Dalek.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why am I Rosie the robot from the Jetsons?
Yes. They should get Roseanne to host the Oscars.
Oh dear God.
She could take some Ambien and host the Oscars. It'd be great. That'd be great. Harry, I streamed this chat a little on my Twitch tonight, trying to get you some Twitch viewers. Hey, thanks, Filthy Farmer. That's cool. Yeah, I appreciate that. What's up, Twitch? Twitch. Yeah, Twitch used to have a whole new meaning, a different meaning when I was like in my drug days. Yeah, twitching. Doomcock's Harvey versus a Dalek. Harvey would win. I don't know. It depends how just one Dalek or all the Daleks. It'd be kind of tough for Harvey. Paul Thongkim, how are you? The female Dalek will want to exterminate only men. That's yes, of course.
God.
She'd be lonely though. She'd be lonely. Superman, whatever happened to the Man from Tomorrow, says Tarka Jedi. That is such a good story. Alan Moore. That is proof. By the way, the Russo brothers stated that the headline was kind of deceiving, but they basically said Superman's hard to write, but the headline was saying, so, the Avengers directors don't think you can make Superman. I hear this argument like once a month. Yeah, you can. If you're a good writer, you can write Superman. You can't give me this ideals bullshit because I give you what Tarka Jedi just said. Whatever happened to the Man of Tomorrow was written by Alan Moore, who is a magician, a wizard, who is a nihilist, and he's a nihilist wizard who won't leave the UK because he doesn't want to go anywhere. And he wrote a beautiful Superman story. You want to know why? Because he's a good writer. He's a good writer. It's not like he believes in the ideals of Superman at all, but he could write a good Superman story. I think he secretly does. I mean, yeah, Alan Moore is still a nerd. He looks like a wizard, but he's still a nerd. Half Doctor, half Dalek. If they did anything to make it feel like it was in the Doctor Who world, the one we have been in, the one we've been watching for years and years. Again, it would have taken all the flame out of our arguments, but it just didn't feel like it at all because they didn't try, because they didn't want it to, because they feel bad. They think there's something wrong with it, which is the worst part. Alan Moore runs down and eats deer raw. Says Eldrick God. I wouldn't be surprised. But he knows the score, though. Alan Moore knows the score. DJ Bowman. Oh, you've never entered Doomcock's chat before? It's just like this one. It's the same. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Daleks were ruined in season 9 with the Davros story. God, that Davros storyline in season 9, Nicholas Newland. That was bad. That was bad. The Dalek sewer. So the Daleks that were ejected down in the sewer, Susan, were still
Yeah,
alive, and
I remember that.
and they revolted. And then all I know was the doctor was rolling around in Davros's chair like it was funny like he was in a little go-kart, you know, those little bumper carts, like he
Yeah,
was bumper karting, and it made it look so stupid. It just made everything dumb. You just killed, I mean, like in one scene, boom, like, yeah, Davros is, you know, not Davros anymore. And I'll look up, listen.
I know. I think I tuned out on that particular episode.
Davros. I can just pull over and grab my Davros. All right. So yeah.
It sounds like a name of a car.
It does. I love him though.
Drive the new Toyota Davros. Okay.
The destroyer of worlds. Oh, he was played so. God damn. I can't wait to watch my Doctor Who Christmas specials on like proper ones. And yeah, I'm kind of happy there isn't a Doctor Who Christmas special because like I can just watch some of the old ones and
like Matt Smith's.
Yeah.
Yep. That was when, you know, that was I thought it was a very decent one.
Oh, I like my favorite Matt Smith one is the one people don't like. It's the singing shark, the sharks and the singing. I love that one. I think it's great. The Christmas Carol one, it's bizarre, but I dig it. The night Gwen Stacy died she died in 73, right? I thought it was 73. I wasn't. I mean, I was there, but I wasn't there. I was 4 in 73. I read that when I was like 12. So I didn't read it until I was 12. Paul Thongan, thank you. Thongam. In 2020, the Doctor will have a trans companion. I wouldn't be surprised. As a matter of fact, I mean, like he might be, you know what? Every time somebody puts a chat up there and I think they're joking, it's like, it turns out to be true.
Yeah, please no. Please just no. No.
Listen,
stop.
I know trans people. All right. Like representation.
That would be a mess. That would be a hot mess.
I hate teaching a world that life is fair. I hate there's this myth that everything should be fair. Life is not fair.
That started with participation trophies. I'm sorry.
Absolutely.
It started back in the late 70s and early 80s when we started giving participation trophies. It's like life does not give you participation trophies. There are winners, there are losers. Life isn't pleasant. You're going to get screwed, and you need to buck up when you're young. I know that sounds cynical, but that's part of the problem with where we are now.
Yeah, it's it's made a generation. It's weird, man, because I even half expected this. I wanted to make sure that when I got old, I wasn't like bitching about the following generations. Like, God, I don't want to be one of those guys.
Yeah,
and I think it's just a rite of passage. It just happens. And you know what? Though, I mean, the world isn't going to end. It's interesting getting old. I'm glad I lived long enough. I didn't think I would to get this old, and yeah, I never thought I'd make it this far. So it's all good. But yeah, seeing it from this perspective now, like from my dad's perspective, it's like, oh fuck. Now I know. As far as a trans companion, they'll probably do it. And it's their motivation behind doing it, which will be disingenuous. It'll be to virtue signal, and it'll be to piss people off and get people talking about it. And then how does that make the trans person feel who got hired? Well, I'm sure they're happy to get hired to get a job, but you're always at the back of your mind. It's like, did I get hired on my skill, or did I hire about like, because what I identify as? Well, the answer is the latter, not on your skill. You didn't get hired on your skill. If they just pull up the best companions possible and one of them happens to be trans and they just happen to pick the best one who is trans, that's a legit way to do it. But that's not how they're doing things. And it does teach a horrible, horrible lesson. Now, mixed in their argument is, well, these people haven't had a chance. And, well, that's something you need to work out, BBC, because you're the ones who weren't hiring them. Like, it wasn't our decision. It was yours. So, and that's fine. But you're also, in doing that, you are still discriminating. You're discriminating against, and like, discrimination is discrimination, period. There is no, well, it's only discrimination against a certain type of people. No, that's like that. A kid, and people say this a lot and they don't mean to. They said this in the Rotten Tomatoes rating. So a kid said reverse racism. I mean, there's no such thing as reverse racism. It's racism, period.
Yeah.
And I hear that all the fucking time. It's like, no. That insinuates that that I'm already, like, the one person's already racist and they're reversing it. It's like, no, it doesn't really work like that. So, and it's like, we're saying these obvious things, but it seems like we have to repeat them sometimes, right, Susan?
And we, on that thought, just real brief, Matt McCoy gave us $20. I participated. Be my trophy, LOL. Thank you, Matt.
Holy shit. Damn.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely.
That Matt McCoy, I know that dude. What's up, Matt? I participated. Give me my trophy. I'll give you something. What the fuck are you doing, dude? I know this guy. He's a punk rocker. We used to work together.
Awesome.
I mean, we used to work together at Chrysler. What the fuck are you doing now, dude?
Silhouetted Animator says we missed their super chat. I'm sorry about that.
I missed it. That's my bad. Silhouetted Animator, I got you. Discworld show on Amazon, please. I got to check that out. I will check it out now that you, yeah, let's get to that. Hang on. Do you want us to review it? Oh, that looks interesting. Or do you want to? Okay, you want a show on Amazon? Yes, it looks pretty dope.
God, speaking of Amazon, when I looked at those Netflix binge shows, I just wanted to like stab my eyes out with the pen I was using.
Terry Pratchett's Discworld is coming to TV March 1st, 2018. So it's going to be, is it going to Amazon? It's likely to be, so did it get picked up yet? I mean, am I missing something here? Is Amazon doing Discworld? Because they were trying to push it. This is where the Nerdist put out an article that a show is coming to TV, but nobody's picked it up yet. That means it's not coming to TV. So the BBC wants to do it, and they're looking for an outside partner. That was as of March 1st, 2018. Has something changed since then? Silhouetted Animator. It looks dope as hell. And it's Terry Pratchett, so love Terry Pratchett. Reverse racism is acceptance. No, OG Spock love. That's why you have love in your name. You're absolutely right. Reverse racism is acceptance. Davros agrees. Don't stab your eyes.
Over binge. Yeah, it was just the Netflix shows. I was like, oh God, really?
Yeah, for every one good one, we get like 10 really, really bad ones. We do. For every Alter Carbon, I
was still surprised Orange is the New Black. I thought, oh, that's still around.
Yeah. I did not like that show. I gave it a shot. Gave it a shot because I used to watch the L Word, and I liked the L Word because it was it was soapy and it was good. Yeah, I mean, I can't remember it now because it's been a while, but oh my God, I'd be at the salon, like hanging out with Melissa, and like me and the freaking power lesbians would be talking about the L word that just aired. And we're like, oh my God, do you believe that happened? Yeah. Yes. I got into it. Nicholas Horton, 2 pounds. Daleks need to be a threat again, like the Davies era. Absolutely. And it's easy to do. It's easy. Susan could write a Dalek script right now. And all you have to do is have them killing people.
Yeah.
Boom, threat. Not like, oh, have a, have it was always like Stephen Moffat always had to have a twist with him. He just couldn't fucking do a linear story to save his fucking life. It's always got to be, like evil dust or circumstances or,
Circumstances. I'm sorry.
Clara was under the bed the whole time or what? I mean, some bullshit like that. And it's like, oh my God, the importance that Clara, like the Doctor wouldn't exist without Clara now because of the Clara canon. So they need to really undo that. They need to really wipe her out from existence, which easily can be done. If they could just bring back the Great Intelligence just to erase her, but then keep all the Doctor stuff. What's up, Robot Rob Shlomo? How's it going? Just came back from seeing Into the Spider-Verse. I saw it. I fucking loved it, dude. I loved it to death. And I didn't expect to love it as much as I did. I thought I would kind of like it and be bored towards the end, but I wasn't. I was certainly pleased with what I saw. All doctors. Oh man, they're going too fast now. It's going too fast for me, Susan. All Doctors actors have one thing in common: the ability to age 50 years with a look. Eldritch God, yes.
With a look.
With a look, yeah. They could. And that's not something that's just only men can do, by the way. There are women who can do that absolutely well. Just not Jodie. Jodie's too cute. She's too cutesy.
She's every time I watch her, it's like I want to like her and I don't dislike her, but I get the sense she's not being real when she's acting. It's like she's doing her version of what she thinks David Tennant would do. And I don't know if she's influenced by him because they're best friends and they've worked together. But it's like, if she could just be her own person, maybe that might help. Well, that and better scripts. But she seems like she's desperately trying to be eccentric and goofy, and it's just not working.
I'm working on something that'll come out in the next 48 hours that's really going to show that. Like it's stuff when I think I've been picking up lately because I have to repeat watch a bunch of stuff for this show. This is not stuff I normally do, but I used to do it when I edited. So I would like part of being an editor is you have to have a tolerance of watching stuff over and over and over and over and over and over and over again and over again and over again. So I got used to doing that. And then, when you're doing that, especially when you're editing your own work, you're also kind of the last pass through. So I start looking at the corners of the screen, because we tend to focus on faces and stuff. So I start like when I do my 5th or 6th pass, I'm not looking at a face. I'm looking at the corners of the screen and I'm looking at all the other stuff to make sure there's no artifacts, make sure there's no, boom mics, stuff like that. And I started doing that with season 11. And there's a commonality that really, it might be subliminal to some people, but there's something she definitely does that causes that. There's a mannerism she has that causes that. I don't know if she thinks, I don't know if she's aware she's doing it. But there's enough to make a video on. So yeah, it's you'll see. I don't want to ruin the surprise, but what's up, Rob? How's it going, Rob? Yeah, you're right. I mean, like there's, the 1,000-yard stare. That's what the Doctor has. It's explained well in Hitchhiker that Fort Prefect has to really get a point across to a barman, and he doesn't have time to explain. So he like just summons up all his experience and all his like time spent in space and seeing different worlds compared to this little human who's only lived on Earth. So he just pulls all that experience up in his head, and it conveys through his look, and it scares the guy and gets his point across. He just, yeah, that's what the Doctor does. The Doctor just with a look can remind you that I'm 3,000 years old or 2,000 years old, and I've fought gods.
True.
That I don't believe in. So. I have to watch Michael Ironside. I saw that, by the way.
Yeah, I do. Yep. Yeah, I'm kind of excited about this. I get to talk to Michael Ironside, the legendary actor, this Tuesday. And he's done so many different types of movies. I'm very excited about it.
You get to talk to him on Tuesday? That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Yep.
God, I'm getting him confused with somebody at John Saxon. I always get him confused with John Saxon. I know John Saxon's like older and everything. I don't know why I get him confused, because probably they're brunette bald guys. I don't know.
Yeah, I can see. I mean, I remember seeing Michael Ironside. I went to the theater to see Visiting Hours, and I kept on thinking like he reminded me a lot of Jack Nicholson.
And maybe that's why he probably reminded a lot of people in Hollywood about that as well. That's maybe why he got a lot of work. I love Michael Ironside. He's a good bad guy. He's a good military guy,
Yeah. He's good with the genre, and I'm really excited about talking to him, because I love the fact that he turned down Top Gun 2.
Oh, he did. Why?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to look into that, but I know he's not going to be in it, and that's kind of cool, because I just think that's a very bad idea.
Yeah, really, how they're going to, I mean, like, Tom Cruise is going to be an instructor because he's too old to be flying around in jets. The eyesight kind of matters.
And Val Kilmer's back, and I just don't know how all of that shit's going to work, but, there you go.
Yeah, I was mixing him up with John Saxon because you weren't here last week. I was talking about my buddy William Selby. Have you ever heard of Zombie Death House? The movie Zombie Death House?
Yes. I've never seen it, but I ever heard of it.
My friend wrote it.
Wow, cool.
Yeah, William Selby. I was looking for the Discworld stuff too, but I can't find it. In a little bit, we'll get to that Esquire article because it's something else, man.
Yeah.
It is something else.
I kind of was stuck on Superman is difficult.
Superman is you mean like with the writing Superman is difficult? Yes.
Yeah.
That's that one. Yeah, like what's your opinion on that one as a writer? Like
here's oh god. Okay. Here's where I'm having like a problem with the new wave of superhero movies. I love stories. I love to tell a good story. But now we're overthinking things. We've taken essentially the old parable of good versus evil that's been around forever, and now we're infusing it with our favorite saying, feelings in hallways. And now these superheroes are not only battling evil on the outside, they're battling it within. And they're always angst ridden. And, Superman, yes, he doesn't have flaws. That's kind of hard, except for kryptonite, but that's an outside influence. But yeah, they're saying, the Russos are saying basically, because he doesn't have any flaws, it's hard to write a compelling character. But then my thing is, well, why did Richard Donner's movie do so well? And I realize that's like, it's going to be 40 years now, or it is 40 years.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, but it's still cited as the favorite Superman movie. And it's like, why are we needlessly wanting to complicate these superheroes, you know. And I understand there are some that do, you know, like Rob Schloma said, everybody wants to deconstruct them and it doesn't always work. Exactly, it doesn't. I mean, there are superheroes that are based in their conflicts, and that's how they become superheroes. You know, but this ability to have to find flaws and have to have moody lighting and have to have the sad Affleck and all that shit, I'm not feeling it
Yeah,
anymore.
what's the difference between Rey from Star Wars and Superman? I mean, she's flawless too,
Yeah.
but all of a sudden she's okay to write. She's the hero of many, and you can't write Superman. That's bullshit.
Well, when you think about it, Luke was the same way. Luke Skywalker, young Luke.
Yeah. Well, I think this current crop can't write them because they don't have those ideals. I think those ideals are absolutely forward to. This is something that hit my head when I'm watching the trailers. Now that my kid's older, I thank the gods I don't have to watch all these like Life Without Pets or whatever the fuck the animated series are that I don't have to watch anymore because I had to watch every single fucking one with my kid, and I'm just like done with computer animated unless it's Pixar. It's like I never ever want to see one again because they're all the same. Because after you see so many of them, you start seeing Hollywood, and maybe it's just me looking way too into it, but I start seeing the detachment. I start seeing that, okay, there's people making family films who have no fucking idea what a family is. It's almost like they're from another planet, and they're all, these humans like cute furry things if we animate them, and these humans are called families. They go to these movies. When we put the cute furry things in, we'll mix in a like a 5-year-old pop song or a 5-year-old pop song, give it some new life. We'll do a little dancing scene with the cute furry things at the end. And there'll be we'll get some very big celebrities to come in and voice them, and they do, get millions of dollars for, like a half day of work. And then of course we'll pay some animators down in Asia, about $2 an hour to animate this thing, and cha-ching. And that's all these things are. They're just mindless. And I'm like, oh my fucking God. And that's when it hit me. It's like the people making stuff for family. Especially when you see dramas nowadays, it's Hollywood's interpretation of what is real. They don't even know anymore. There was a time when they did know. Like how the detachment with Hollywood wasn't that far. Hollywood still had people going there who were from, New York, who were from the Midwest, and they were first generation. We're like in fourth or fifth generation Hollywood, where we have like the sons of sons of sons now, right? Like what Joss Whedon is a son of a son of a son of a writer. Like he's a grandson of a writer, so he's like third generation. And now Joss Whedon, you know what I'm talking about here. So we're on fourth generation, and then that's when you get like Max Landis. Max Landis is a Hollywood kid. That is like straight up a kid who had no supervisions. Nobody ever told him no, ever. And got him in trouble eventually. But yeah, it's weird. One is genius, the other is insane. Yeah.
It's all the sunshine. I mean, I lived out there for a decade. It's like the sunshine like fucks you up. It's great, but you're like on a permanent vacation. And my favorite description when I lived out there was, you're rude. You're too intense. This isn't going to work out here. I'm like, listen, fuckers. New York came to Hollywood and made Hollywood what it was. Talk about rude. Talk about intense. That was most of the people that made Hollywood. That's why. But, it's like, it's a weird circumstance because they all live in a bubble out there. And it's a land of make-believe, and their perception of a family is not the same perception as a family living in Detroit or Philadelphia. It's what their ideal of a family is.
Yeah, it's well, I mean, there's different parts of LA, but where they are, yeah, it's and you know what, even people who are from poor areas, when they a lot of them, when they get money, they forget. People forget, maybe because they want to, and that's fine. But it's when if they weren't lecturing us especially like the BBC is just as bad. The BBC, oh my God, the people who work at the BBC Don't you have to? Did you say Lord Hall? Don't you have to have status at one point to be management up there? I mean, you still call people lords over there, for fuck's sake. And you're right, Mako. Game of Thrones is postmodern-ish. There's still hero archetypes in there. We're still gonna have like good fighting evil. But then we'll find out that evil was probably started by good, but it's still evil. Doesn't matter. Like evil, that's another thing is like evil is still evil just because it has motivations, just because it has an origin doesn't make it any less evil. Like the walkers are just killing people randomly. That's evil. You know, I mean, I'm sorry if somebody pissed him off 5,000 years ago, or the children of the Force like basically turned on a weapon that they didn't know how to turn off, which is what they are in the TV show. I don't think they're going to be that in the books. Brian Smart for $10. Here's the final storyline of the Whittaker doctor. She gets preggers and has a son that will become the father of Susan granddaughter Hartnell's, and then the reboot the series from the beginning. Do you think that's what the timeless child is? You think oh, wow. You want to talk about a fan base like literally burns. I mean, it'll be the 5th of November. It'll be Guy Fawkes Day.
God.
It won't be the 5th of November. It'll be the 21st. Whatever. I'm sorry. What's the anniversary for Doctor Who? Yeah. Hey, next season they'll be visiting Guy Fawkes. Yeah. Jodie Whittaker will be visiting Guy Fawkes. Yes. During his trial though.
God, no.
No, I'm just kidding. Thank you, Brian Smart. You're awesome. It's good to see you. Walking Dead poo. Walking Dead is poo. I'll say poo for free. Walking Dead. Yeah.
It has its issues, even behind the scenes, especially with what's going on with Frank Darabont and that whole hot mess of a lawsuit. They've got their problems.
April 23rd of November. Thank you. It's the 23rd of November. Yes, they do have their problems, but I don't think it'll be for long. I just don't think that show will be going on for long.
I think it's renewed for next year.
Yep, I think that's going to be it. It took them a while to renew it, though, didn't it? Like they didn't renew it in the normal fashion.
It's like taking everybody like forever to renew every show, it seems. It's like we've always talked about this. It's like the third season curse. Once you get to season 3, hold on because you may not get 4.
Yeah. Yeah. I am not a Stargate fan, but I'm not a hater. I'm going to try out the show next year. There's a couple of shows that when they were out, I just wasn't watching a lot of TV. So Farscape was one of them, and Stargate was the other. BSG was the other. I got to catch up on all those. Now that I'm doing this channel, I am going to do that. So Farscape, I'm doing Farscape right now, and I fucking love it. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. And I bet you I'm going to here's my prejudice against Stargate is I didn't like the movie, but I heard the show's much better. So I'm going to give it a shot. And I only saw the movie once, and it was like, man, it was a long time ago now, Susan. That was like 20 years ago. Fuck, we're getting old.
I didn't mind the movie. The TV show I really, really enjoyed a lot.
Yeah,
so I think you'll like it.
Yeah, I'll definitely try it out. I will try it out for sure. Why not? Farscape does rock. It really does. It seriously is good. I don't know why it took so damn long. I saw something up there. Okay, let me catch up on some of this chat here. I'm trying to get it all. Super chats are appreciated, but they are not necessary. We try to read as much chat as possible. If you really want to get my attention or Susan's, hit the at Susan or at Nerdrotic channel, and we will try to get to it. If it's something really important and we missed it, go ahead and repeat. That's fine. And now I lost it. I really wanted to. Okay. BBC are happy to kill who is Tarka Jedi. I'm a good friend down under. BBC are happy to kill who if it pushes the PC agenda. Hands off Torchwood. Yeah, I even said that in the video, Tarka Jedi. I was like, bring back Torchwood. I'm like, ooh, maybe not. Maybe we just let it go. Yeah. Because there's a certain TV show I have been wanting to come out forever that my friend, I'm going to give you the biggest hint ever without saying the title. So I interviewed a comic artist on this channel. It's the only comic artist I've interviewed. It's my friend Derek Robertson. He's drawn a lot of books. Now he's getting a TV show made at Amazon called The Boys. He's had a TV show made on Sci-Fi called Happy, but the book he's most famous for, which I'm not going to say the title for, is probably going to be a TV show. And it's probably going to be a TV show at a network that's like super PC right now. And I'm like, oh no, don't do it. Don't do it. Preacher was only renewed 2 weeks ago for season 4. KZ Bay. Yes. That was long. I thought it was done. We even said that at the end of our last recap, KZ Bay. I thought it was over with. So I was very pleasantly surprised. And they're going down to Australia to go shoot, which is interesting. You'll never convince me how that is cheaper, but it is. I guess, they get the crew down there, Susan, and they get the extras down there.
You know what? Yes, it is, because Australia and New Zealand are cheaper to film, and that's why you see a lot of things go down there. Yeah, they're because I don't know why it is, but it is such that it is cheaper, and the work ethic is totally different down there. Like, for example, if up here, in the States, we're like, oh yeah, I shot this movie and everybody worked 24 hours. Yeah. And down under, they're like, no, you ask them about overtime, and they apparently have meetings, and it's like, no, we're good. Thanks for asking. they have other priorities. I mean, but they get their shit done. They're good at what they do, and that's why you get a lot of shows and movies going down there.
Yeah, that's why the Hollywood system is broken. They that's why I said they're kind of getting what they deserve. The way they treated workers. Listen, I'm not like Mr. Union, blah, okay, because I'm not. I used to own a business, so I'm kind of management. But they work people like fucking dogs down there. Like the one aspect of Hollywood that didn't have a union, and the reason they don't exist anymore is post-production. I mean, there's an editors union, but there isn't one for like, the $18 an hour guy doing QC, which they need one because they're the ones that they were working 20 hours. Fucking insane. I mean, I was doing 12, 16 hours a day, and I went to that job to work less because I was working more at my comic shop. And I went there to get an extra paycheck, and it was just as bad. And I worked from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it's a badge of pride. That all these directors and stuff, we spend 18 hours on a set. And it's like,
it's miserable.
Why are you doing that? There's a lot of things that can help you out. What are you doing that requires 18 hours on a set? Do you not have your shot list? What the fuck? I don't know.
You like to get it. You don't want to leave stuff undone because of continuity. Because if you break and you go, that means you got to set everything back up, get everybody in the right clothes. I understand that. But that's why you have continuity people. There's professionals who handle that. That's their thinking. Plus, I mean, I'm that way with myself. I don't do that to my employees, but like when I'm cutting a video, I just go. I'm motor. I make sure it's done in a day. I don't like leave work. Had to do it last night, which I hate doing. But yeah, don't do it to other people for one, because you're useless in those last 3 or 4 hours. You're fucking done. You're like, no, you're like, especially when you're at a skill job where it's like acting and stuff, and yeah, the people are punchy and falling asleep. And what do you yeah, you're not going to get anything good anyway. So I'm with you on that one.
It's like this with movies. I was an extra on, I'll be honest, I was an extra on one movie and I hated it, and never again. It was 9 to 10 hours of not doing anything, waiting around, reading a book, listening to conversations that went like this. I stood next to Tom Cruise in this movie, like, yeah, and we're best friends, and I'm going to star in this next movie. And I'm just sitting there going, you are an idiot. Just shut up. You're not going anywhere. You're an extra. You're background. Yeah, I did not care for it. There's a lot of waiting around in movies, and I don't like it.
There is, and the Star worship, I just never part of.
Yeah.
You think the new Daleks will be revealed to be white guys in Dalek suits? This is Richmond 2125. Yes. No, they'll be controlled by you'll find out that it'll be I guarantee you this. Like, this isn't even a joke. It will be some greedy white dude, probably American, who will have brought down the Daleks for some reasons. Yeah, that was pretty much the entire season. That was except for the last episode. The last episode was thankfully just a bad science fiction show, which was, I mean, like, honestly, that was almost a breath of fresh air after the torture that it depresses me. It really does. After all this, I'm not happy. This sucks. Yeah, it's done great for the channel. Awesome. You know what? No joke. I would trade it for like good fucking Who, because that's something I've enjoyed for years with my kids, and now, like, that's done. And you know, when you get older, your kids don't want to hang out with you as much. Okay, so I like my moments with my kids, and that's one less. That was like something it meant a lot to me. It's something we bonded over. And it sounds stupid to some people, and it certainly sounds stupid to the BBC, you know, but it wasn't stupid to me. But they don't give a shit. So it's done now. And I'm pissed. I'm fucking pissed about it. And I'll continue being pissed for a little while longer. Nerdrotic Channel. So from your Titans review, you said Beast Boy's origin in the show could connect to Swamp Thing. It will. That's what they plan on doing. What do you mean by that? Were you referring to the red? Yes. The red and the green are going to connect. I mean, it's loosely, but he's going to be the linchpin in between Swamp Thing, all the shows, apparently. So he was a former member of Doom Patrol, and he'll be, but it's loose. But yes, I like how they make him in the center of the universe. My question is, are they going to connect it to the cinematic universe? Now, I know what Akiva Goldsman said, but he doesn't really run things. He runs that show, but he doesn't run things. So we'll see. I think everything's a crapshoot right now, and they're testing everything out. As far as what I really think the Daleks' new look will be, they're just probably gonna they're not gonna go Moffat, M&M Daleks again, although those weren't as bad. I think it's gonna be, I swear, I think they're gonna do a Queen Dalek. I think they're gonna do a female Dalek. I could be wrong, but just don't be surprised if they do that. I mean, just don't. And remember you because they'll remember me if I get it wrong. We already had a guy somebody made a video cracking on us a little bit. I'm not going to say complaining or even attacking. I wouldn't call it an attack. It was more of a shakes my head. He was shaking his head at us in disgust. Maybe not even in disgust, mild annoyance, we'll say. I thought that was pretty awesome. I thought it's like, that makes us legit now. He did a video about us and Clownfish TV, and he's like, where did these people come from? And of course the kid sounds like he's like 12.
So he was bagging on the show, I guess.
Oh yeah. He didn't watch our video because he got everything wrong. He said so when Jodie signed up for season 12, everybody's all, see, she's staying. I'm all, did you watch our video? Did you read the article? Because I just reported on an article. I said she's leaving after season 12. That's what they said. They said doing 2 seasons, then she's gone. And nobody's denied it yet, by the way, to this day, to this very day.
That's not surprising. They don't read articles either. They just go off of a headline and then they go all ballistic. And it doesn't surprise me that they didn't watch the video.
Yeah, I made sure to watch his video. He spells his name Samuel with a Y because clever. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh boy,
I should be Susan with a Z.
You should. Oh my god, no, Susan with 2 X's.
X's. Oh yeah, no, I should do it like Susie and the Banshees.
Yes.
Yeah, bring that back. Susan, SIOUXSAN. How wonderful.
Her and Morticia Adams were like that's what I want in a woman. When I was a little kid. Yes. I was a twisted kid. Morticia Adams and Susie Susie Sue were like, that's what I had
Carolyn,
crushes on. Yeah. I didn't have like pictures of, yeah, that's the kind of girls I crushed on when I was younger. Okay. So what? Sue me.
It's okay. That's all right.
uh, that's exactly what happens on this channel. Like, what the fuck, man? Wellington Smithopolis. I know, right? Oh, it's the butt chugging hour, by the way, everybody. It's the
Oh,
butt chugging hour. Welcome to the butt chugging hour. It's a just basically it's a Hollywood thing. They put zero thought into destroying franchises like Star Trek, and I'm sure I don't think the British butt chug. I just don't. I think they're too proper to butt chug. But definitely in Hollywood they are. Yeah. Dalek are SJW heroes because they are all inclusive. Daleks, the Daleks,
it's Charlotte.
the Daleks. Uh, uh, Jeffrey, because no one expects the Jeffrey. Nobody expects the Jeffrey. I saw DJ. I parody Nerdrotic Monday to Wednesday, Thursday to Friday. Friday is for Tug. Oh, so you pair? Oh, that's cool. Thanks, man. Well, I was watching you the other day in the gym.
Well,
The
that sounds
DJD show.
interesting.
Well, yeah, I was watching him shower.
Oh,
Oh, I mean, I was watching his show. That's what I meant. Hey, big boy.
It is after midnight where I'm at, so
It's
this
like,
talk is okay.
yeah, I was all, hey, how are you holding that towel up? Because both your hands are up here. So, hello.
And that's not objectifying.
It's not. Well, yeah, just pointing you in the right direction. Yes. Yeah, our critic actually has more subs than us for now. We're kind of catching them. But that's fine. It's fine. He was perfectly respectful. He didn't I was curious. He was talking about he did a dissertation on fandom.
What?
Yes.
He did a dissertation.
I want to read that so bad. Oh, I want to find it.
Said dissertation. I hate you already.
Yes.
Stop.
I am looking for his dissertation on fandom because I want to read it on a live stream. Because I love it when people, like when this little shit from the Esquire, for lack of a better word, talks about fandom, and a kid talks about fandom. Listen, when I was 20, I thought I fucking knew everything too. But like, fandom is not an easy thing to figure out. It takes years and years. I haven't figured it out yet. And I used to I sell stuff to fandom. I talk to fandom every day, and that's not something you can just put in a box. There is no way to do that. People have tried, people have split fandoms, but fandom is just, it's not something you generalize into a group of bigots, especially when you're calling. I mean, like they actually, this article here, let's time to read the article, because he insinuates somebody has a problem with black people being in Star Wars. And like, dude, do you know there's a black guy in the original trilogy, right? I mean, just the obvious answer, right? It didn't have a ton of black people in it, but it had one. It had a character. It's not like they weren't there. And this constant pushing of a narrative of like it was, like 5 years ago, it was like the South in the 60s. No. I mean, yeah, there's problems everywhere. I remember when I was a kid traveling the South, and I still saw a whites only bathroom sign that they just hadn't taken down. This was in 75. They hadn't bothered to take it down, probably because they didn't want to. But I just thought it was weird. I'm from California. They didn't do that shit there. So I asked my mom about it. That's the first time I ever remember even hearing about it. But it's not like it was prevalent everywhere. So that's the bogus narrative. But we're talking about just fandom here, Star Wars fandom, or Doctor Who fandom, or Star Trek fandom. If we were bigots, we wouldn't like the show. Like this would be the last show we'd like. So But it goes on and on and on to the point where I after I read it again, I was like, this has got to be kind of a troll job. There's no way this guy really thinks this way. So I'm going to share it with y'all. I mean, I'm sure some of you saw the world class bullshitter video today, which was quite good. He was questioning whether he's going to get 50,000 views on it. I'm sure he's got that already because that one was just epic. Gary, do a little initial search Google. You'll probably find. What am I? These men are scientists. Will a queen Dalek rule over all Daleks? Will the queen Dalek wage war against the males to destroy the male Dalek patriarchy?
Oh, Lord.
Well, that would have to, for one, they would have to make, I mean, Daleks are, of course, sexless, but they did come from something that did, have a sex at one time. To Star Trek, First Contact, it's a movie. When I saw it, I enjoyed it. I was like, that was pretty good, especially after the garbage that was Generations. I was like, I liked it. It was good. But then when you start thinking about it, you're like, why did the Borgs have a queen? Like, why? They kind of explained it, but it kind of takes, I mean, the more they went on, the more they started taking away from the Borg. The Borg used to be awesome, and now they're just, and then you're messing with time, and why would Zephyr Cochrane be into 20th century or like 60s? Why would Zephyr Cochrane be a baby boomer?
Yeah.
Which he was. Which was weird. But Dalek Queen would just not work, but they'll probably try it. It would not work.
Please don't.
Yeah, really don't.
I think what got me about the Esquire article was the fact that he actually called fans idiots online. I just looked at that and I'm like, really? It was just, granted, the fan-made film, there's opinions on that too, but
it didn't even get made.
Yeah, what? It is?
It didn't get made. It never got made, yeah.
It wouldn't. But he just the whole tone of it, you don't say as a journalist somebody's an idiot. It's not good form, it's not professional. But because he is a byline with Esquire, he'll get away with that. If I called a bunch of fans idiots on 1428 Elm, I'd probably be run out on a rail, and that would be the end of me. And you wouldn't hear from me for a while. But he's got the big Esquire machine behind him. So therefore, he's obviously a fan of Star Wars. He feels that they're on the right track, that they're just showing, the universe the way that it is. They're issuing us into a modern era of movies. That's how he put it. And it just the whole article to me was annoying, coming from a writer's viewpoint, that you don't come out and you don't call people idiots. You can have passion, you can be annoyed, but that's not good form.
I'm just going through his Twitter.
Let me guess. He's got probably 1,000 followers, or probably less.
3,840 followers. Not huge for writing for Esquire. And
he doesn't have a blue check mark.
He does have one.
Oh, he does. Okay.
They're easier to get now. Like I could.
Oh, they are.
Yeah,
really?
you could get one. They're easy to get now.
I thought Twitter still wasn't doing verification.
Oh no, they're doing it. Last time I checked,
you'll have to tell me how to get that done, because.
Oh, I'm not. I wouldn't recommend it. The association with it right now is kind of. I just leave it be. I wouldn't want one if they offered me one. Lots of Game of Thrones. I'm like looking for Star Wars. He's an entertainment culture writer. He's managed to complain about Trump quite a bit.
Well, that's what you do. That's all that any celebrities do, is their feed is all that bullshit.
It's 2018, right?
Yes.
Just checking. The end of 2018. I'm like, man, it's never good to sit in anger that long. Whether you, I mean, like for or against, just being Trump has utterly defeated you. Then, if you're that upset and mad about it, he has utterly defeated you. He's parked in your fucking head. And there's a saying about resentment. It's like taking poison and expecting somebody else to die from it or get sick from it. That's what you're doing. So, and like it's basic AANA 101 shit. It's like you could be, the world is fucking you over, and this person fucked me over, and that fucked me over. Guess what? Nobody gives a shit.
Yeah.
Guess what? You fucked yourself over by being this whatever. I'm still looking for this whole time. By the way, I'm scrolling down. There's no so big Star Wars fan here. Not talking about Star Wars we are now in August 29th. Now, I didn't check out his tweet replies or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's another I'm still kind of working down. I found somebody on Twitter who was all about the Doctor Who and drinking male tears and stuff. And then I kept track of this person afterwards. And they didn't watch Doctor Who. They didn't tweet about Doctor Who once. That's what I'm finding quite a bit. I'm finding a lot of people are into the drama outside the fandom drama that's going on right now, but they aren't actually into like watching the actual shows, watching the actual movies, which I find interesting. That's not a judgment. I find it interesting. Is this stuff truly more entertaining? And it might be. The answer might be yes. The answer might be yes. Let's get to this article. Not futurism. Not that. James, £5 super pat. Thank you so much, James. Sorry I didn't catch that. If you got a question, go ahead and ask. Here it is. Well, there it was. Oh no, that's his. Where'd it go? I'll hit it again. You gave me the link. Here we go. Let's share it because we are caring and sharing here at Neurotic. Dun, 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 dun. All right. The year Star Wars, fans finally ruined Star Wars. In 2018, a loud movement of racist misogynist. I mean, he doesn't even stop. He doesn't even build up to it. Racist misogynist trolls derailed the beloved family sci-fi franchise. All right. Now, this is Matt Miller. Here's his Twitter. Again, I will link it in the description. World-class bullshitters. Not that they need help from me, but there's Matt. Okay. All right, buddy. Here we go. Some of my earliest memories about movies are of Star Wars, taking old wrapping paper, tubes, and playing with lightsabers with my dad, dressing up as Luke Skywalker, desperately wanting the Millennium Falcon Lego set, watching the original VHS trilogy box, and having a fast forward through Leonard Maltin's boring interview with George Lucas every goddamn time. He's not very old then. That's what Star Wars had always been to me. So he's like as Jeff said, he's like a third or fourth generation fan. A movie that shaped my childhood, along with understanding of good and evil. Luke and Leia and Obi-Wan and Yoda and all these characters aided in honing my own moral compass throughout my formative years. Okay. Of course, I grew up, but I never forgot these characters and their values. In fact, I'm only somewhat ashamed to admit that I cried in the theater when I then, as a grown adult, watched Han Solo die. The other thing that was worth crying over was how badly it was done. It was like losing a member of my own family, even though tearing up during The Force Awakens. I don't care. Okay, yeah, you building your Star Wars fan thing. These days, Star Wars coverage is a large part of my job as culture critic and writer and editor. Hardly a week goes by where I don't touch on something Star Wars related. Okay, remember he said that, right? I'm going to his Twitter again. There's his article. Going down. Scrolling down. Scrolling down. We're in November, so that's been more than a week, right?
Yeah.
SpongeBob, Aquaman, going down. I see some Game of Thrones stuff. Stanley,
Well, that's like Star Wars.
yeah, going down. Okay. Oh, yeah, political stuff. All right, just checking, just checking. Okay, hardly a week goes by. Big Star Wars fan. Highest grossing movie in the last 4 years. Mentioned limitless news and takes theories about each film, but within the past year, the conversation about Star Wars has gotten deeply unpleasant. In 2018, I got literal death threats. People called been called homophobic slurs, have been called racist towards Star Wars fans about a family movie that defined my childhood. And this isn't the problem limited to my experience. Oh no, my online harassment has paled in comparison to others, specifically the female stars of the new films. And okay, the conversation surrounding Star Wars has devolved into something ugly and unrecognizable, whereas the vocal majority of Star Wars fans have simply are simply passionate peoples who cosplay and debate the logistics of the Kessel Run. You know what? We never used to debate the Kessel Run. It was stated. It was I beat the Kessel Run and blah blah blah. We didn't debate anything. The only thing we debated was like how many people got killed on the Death Star. That was something we used to talk about, like back in the day. And now you've been overpowered on the internet. At least Star Wars and a loud section of Star Wars fans have tragically become synonymous with hate and bigotry. Now I'm gonna do my little Command F because I remember hearing that a lot. Maybe I thought I heard it more than that, but maybe that was just me. Hate and bigotry.
Just go back. Do me a favor. Go back. How many hits or likes does he have on his article? I'm just curious.
Go down and I can find that right. Oh my God, it's long. Where would it say it? On top?
Yeah, go back to where his article's posted and just look and see what the heart
Oh,
is.
on Twitter? Okay.
Yeah,
On Twitter
on
itself.
Twitter,
Yeah. Boom, 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 boom. Let's take a look. He has more comments than likes, so that's generally not a good thing. He has 120 likes, and
For somebody at Esquire, that's peanuts.
31 shares out of 121 likes, 31 shares. But he has 168 comments, and I think most of those are probably from Jeff's video today. I think Jeff's video gave it more attention than I keep going back to that one. All right. Yeah. So what he basically, I think, like that's the thing that really pissed me off was the racist, misogynist trolls calling us bigots and pervasive assholeness of 2018. From various sinister online campaigns to racist and misogynist attacks on actors to baffling stupid takes and interpretations of the film, The Last Jedi inspired the worst impulses of the far right movement that's taking a hold of the internet. So his whole thing was this is a conspiracy. It's a right-wing conspiracy that is coordinated by, I would guess, the right-wing coordinators of the internet to take on Star Wars because that's how we change minds. And they call us crazy. This is some fucking out there. This is like some like reverse. You want to talk about reverse Alex Jones shit, like, or just Alex Jones on the other side shit. Yeah. Or the water is making the porgs gay. The hate began almost immediately after The Last Jedi hit theaters to positive reviews from the critics. Days after movie was released, Rotten Tomatoes was swarmed with negative reviews, making it the biggest disparity between fans and critics. Well, until Star Trek Discovery and Doctor Who came around. In the history of the franchise, in the history of this franchise, as of this week, the film is at 91% of the critics which is down, by the way, because it was at 98, right, folks? Am I wrong on that one? I remember it being like damn near perfect on the critics. And 45% of the fans. Do you think these critics can they probably can't? Can they scrub their reviews? Like, do you think a critic is probably pretty embarrassed that they gave Ghostbusters a good review? Or they just got like they already spent the money from Sony and they're like, oh, the money's gone and now I have no integrity or soul. As of this week, yeah, like I said, 45%, which is right there. I mean, that's right in line with Doctor Who. Many of these audience reviews are coming from a different place. Like this is comparatively tame one that I pulled from the fan page of Rotten Tomatoes, and yeah, it's just somebody talking about Ryan Johnson sucking and Kathleen Kennedy sucking. This became the narrative surrounding Star Wars and rejection of The Last Jedi. Emboldened members of the far right use Star Wars as another easy target for online hatred. What? Huh? What's confusing is how badly this alleged Star Wars fan misunderstands Star Wars. And he's got a link. I wonder what that link is. I love it when kids tell me that I don't understand Star Wars. Star Wars fans fundamentally misunderstand Star Wars. So he links his buddy's article. Oh, I got to read this. Maybe this was already done. That's later. I'm going to probably not in the show, but I'm going to read that later. I want to know how I fundamentally don't understand Star Wars. That's funny. Maybe I don't. Maybe they're right. From the very beginning, it was a progressive franchise. No, it wasn't. It was a science fiction. Nobody talked like that back then. There was no word progressive in the 70s.
No.
Come on. A progressive franchise. In what aspect? That in the aspect of like good versus evil, because a lot of people who are progressive think they're good. Good is good. Good is good. There's nothing bad about good. I don't know if that's a progressive ideal. I think that's just it's an ideal, like a life ideal. I don't think somebody's anti-good. Well, I mean, the pagans are people against goodness and normalcy, but they're just the fucking pagans. Even considering some of the embarrassing Hollywood, oh my God, even considering some of the embarrassing Hollywood norms of the 70s. I love it when this generation bashes earlier generations based on today's values.
What are they even talking about?
I have no fucking idea. You want to talk about word salad? George Lucas gave Princess Leia a blaster. And had her take charge of her own rescue. That stuff was actually happening quite a bit in the 70s. And he's talking about, when the women stopped being damsels, that started in the late 60s, kiddo. In a lot of movies. Come on. While many women, I mean, it was good that it was done in Star Wars, but I wouldn't call it a progressive movie because Leia pulled out a blaster. It's a great scene, though. The rebels fought against a totalitarian empire that was not so subtly resembled the Nazi Germany. Okay. It's a film that made women like Mon Mothma, a revolutionary leaders. She had three, like Jeff said in the video, she had 3 lines. She said 3 words. Like I think it was like, may the force be with you. I can't remember now. Kill me Star Wars fans. It was like, yeah. We are in great peril, something, really heavy. And yeah. Yet somehow in 2018, simply including women and actors of color in Star Wars, the Star Wars universe is pushing a political agenda. See, that's bullshit right there. And that's the one that, and this stuff keeps getting pushed. And it goes on and on. Susan read this. I'll link it in the description. Listen to Jeff's video does a great job because he breaks down where this guy is just full of shit and he actually corrects him on a time. He gets him. He manipulated the timeline on this, especially since there's one part in the article he talks about Disney actually responding to these right-wing trolls, and he said, but their actual response came 2 days after the movie came out, and the right-wing troll thing happened like 6 to 8 months after the movie came out, so that was a lie. Listen, I subscribe to these channels and stuff. I don't see any bigotry, and by the way, Not everybody who's complaining about Star Wars is white, by the way. I'm just saying. A lot of people don't show their faces on the YouTube channel. There might be a lot of assumptions from our friend, what's his name? Matt here. But yeah, that would be a false assumption. That would be a false assumption. So,
I mean, I'm thinking about this and what this guy is saying. And I'm remembering seeing Star Wars in 1977. I was 11. And my only thought after seeing that was, hey, can I go home and play Star Wars with the kids in the neighborhood? What can we use for lightsabers? There was no thought in my head, maybe because I was 11, of, oh, what is the social relevancy of this? What does this all mean? There was no thoughts of that. I doubt there was any thinking in the 70s about that. Sure, you had women's lib, that was big. You had the whole Bobby Riggs, Billie Jean King thing, but there wasn't this much purveyance of hidden meanings and subtext and all this bullshit that they
Allegory.
yeah, that they tell you in English class in college. It's like that's not how we thought in the 70s. And like you said, Gary, we can talk about this now because we're old enough because we lived in the 70s. I can
Yep.
tell you in the 70s, we weren't thinking anything that this kid says, anything at all. Even in the 80s, we weren't thinking that way. I don't know.
No.
I mean,
No, in the 70s, you would still hear occasionally, like I mean occasionally. I'm talking about where I grew up. When
yeah.
I would be traveling, I'd hear people dropping the N word all the time. Down in the South, it was like a regular thing in the 70s, but I was only like down there once. Okay, but where I grew up, I never heard it. Never,
No.
never, never, and you would get smacked if you said it. This was in the 70s, folks. Back when we had to like wait in line for gas. Like people would talk about the 2008 recession. That was fucking nothing. That was
Yeah.
nothing compared to the shit that was going down in the 70s. I remember sitting in a car for a fucking hour and a half waiting to get gas because it was even day, which is still nothing compared to like the depression. So I mean, like it was, yeah. The 70s were just weird. I just remember them being very weird. People like bell bottom pants. Disco was a big thing. It was probably the time in America where America had the worst taste. Like overall, the whole taste of America had just gone to shit. Like earth and rust tones. Rust. I remember rust carpeting and olive green
Avocado.
avocado
Rust.
couch. Yeah, crocheting like was a
Yep.
big thing.
Macrame.
Macrame. My grandma would make beer can hats. Yes, beer can hats, and give them to me when I was a kid. Yeah, it was just leisure suits, corduroy. It was just bad times. We needed something like Star Wars was the movie we needed. Yeah, there was the whole Nixon shit. I was 6. I didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, people didn't think like that or talk like that. That's not. But those problematic 70s norms. When everybody was kind of having fun and there was this whole sexual revolution, and people were just like, that's when people just started to go out and like be open about like, hey, I'm just gonna go and have some sex, but
Yeah.
we're not gonna get married. Okay, you and me are gonna just have sex. That was
We're
they probably
shacking
don't
up.
even know that was like considered very bad until the 70s, late 60s, 70s. Yeah, you can just go hook up and go home, and you wouldn't have to go marry somebody.
You
So,
could do drugs back then, and
oh yeah.
it was a whole different thing. The drugs weren't cut with shit that they are now. It just was a different time period, a different mindset. Trying to explain the 70s to somebody like Matt Miller would probably give me a migraine because all we were trying to do was grow the fuck up. We were just trying to get through each day in junior high, in high school. We didn't have these deep thoughts. We weren't Dawson's Creek. I don't know. I
Well,
just
there was also like the Cold War in the background,
yeah.
and that
Oh
that
yeah.
did that did play into things
We
because
had bomb shelters.
there's
Saw
bomb shelters.
the gold and black sign that said fallout shelter. We had that on the playground of my school at St. Joseph's. So, yeah.
So that was always in the back of your mind as a kid. It kind of freaks you out, but I mean, I never thought the world would. I always thought like things would get worked out, kind of like they did. I never
Yeah.
thought like, but there was a couple times it got a little scary. There's a couple like when the Korean airliner got shot down and stuff, and that's when like shit, like even my parents got worried. Like that's when they're like, oh, God. And apparently we did go up to DEF CON, whatever, when that happened. But
Well, I was around with 3 Mile Island. All my friends
yeah.
left.
Oh,
I was still there. I asked my parents, why aren't we leaving? Because we have faith. Oh, shit. Well, that's not going to help me 30 years from now when I die. But I'm still here. But yeah, I mean, I went through 3 Mile Island. So, you know.
yeah, I remember that. I remember that. Yeah, in our phone book, because we're near San Onofre, it shows the like the meltdown safe area. And like you basically have to travel like 100 miles in like 5 minutes or you're dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that's not happening. Um So yeah, and how this connects to the Doctor Who thing. Well, I'm getting crackback like this just on Twitter and DMs and comments and stuff, and it's fine. I don't care. The thing is, it's this talk that goes to fans. Okay, if we talk as adults here, sometimes the fans get a little overboard what they're talking about Star Wars, but you know what? That's called passion. And people and look, it's the internet, and it's fine. That's just how it rolls. I don't. And most of the time, when you read something, and I've told this before, I learned this in marriage counseling. You hear things with your voice. Remember that. Yeah, like when you're reading a comment, you're reading it with your "this guy hates me" voice or whatever. Okay. And it might not be that way at all. The guy might be talking to you kind of, constructively or tongue in cheek or anything. So it's all how you interpret what is written kind of in passing. And people don't give a lot of thoughts to come. Some people do. Some people do. But doing dissertations and attacking fans, remember, even if you work at Esquire or you're a YouTuber, you work for fans. That's what you want to have. You want to have fans and viewers. They're your customers. You need to treat them like customers. And if you start like writing shit like this, like you're on the outside, like you're different, like I mean, who's he writing for? I don't understand this. For one, this article, and I agree with Jeff. It feels like something that should have been written in May of 2018 and not now, because it really came out of the blue. There's nothing going on with Star Wars other than people are just expecting Episode 9 to suck.
He's doing a year-end thing. This is when all this stuff comes out. You do your year-end things, like your year-end recaps of TV shows. So he's doing his year-end fandom piece.
He's calling Star Wars fans racists and bigots. He starts his article with that. Not like, oh, let's go back. I mean, like, it's a right-wing conspiracy and a loud move. Okay, not some movement. Okay. A loud movement of racist, misogynist trolls derailed this beloved family sci-fi franchise. Yeah, it's never been I don't get that. I think Disney's trying to turn it into that, but Star Wars wasn't a family film. It was for the 70s. It was kind of scary for kids. I would say it's for little, like I was probably too young to be watching Star Wars for the 70s ideals. That's something that was different. Kids didn't see a lot of violence and shit. Now it's nothing. But back then, it was something. Yeah, I don't agree with that at all. So yeah. I mean,
I can tell you that, I've had personal dealings with fandoms. I've had personal dealings with them. Have they been pleasant? No, not really. But I'm not going into 1428 and just telling everybody what I think. You don't do. I don't want to do that. I just would rather forget that time in my life, and kind of rise above it. Evidently he can't. I don't know what his issue is, but yeah, I don't know how that article is going to turn out for him. I don't know, I guess Esquire needed some kind of controversial piece because it's the end of the year. Who knows? But I don't know. It was just poor form.
Yeah, it was. And I'll tell him right now that being the culture editor of Esquire is not as meaningful as it used to be, kiddo. It's you're part of a dying medium. And Jeff from it World Class Bullshitters, they're approaching 100,000 subs. That is something, son. that's something you might want to do. You might want to get yourself a YouTube platform so you can have some real influence. Be like Jeff. I'm not saying like us. We're small. Jeff is big. And he cracked back on you, and that was like a call to arms, by the way. And not, I'm part of Jeff's crowd in there when he does live streams, and they're perfectly fucking nice and normal. There's nothing wrong. I've never seen anything in there that would be considered racist or misogynist. And I would say it if I saw it. I didn't. I haven't. James, thank you for the £5 super chat. 5 for reaching 14,000. Congrats on congrats 50K by the end of 2019. That would be insane. James, thank you so much. And super grateful for all the new subs. You guys are brilliant. It's very unexpected. I did not see that coming at all. So I'm a little floored by it and a little behind on my messaging, but I'll get back to everybody, and thank you so much. And we got new patrons, and I can't thank you guys enough. This is so much goddamn fun. This is much better. And I've said it before, Susan, it's better than having a band. This is better than producing a comic book. And it's damn near as fun as having a comic shop. It's getting up there. It's getting up there. So, and Gregory Ramirez, $2. So thanks again, James, for the £2 and the £5. Gregory Ramirez, did you see the Titans finale trailer? I did, Gregory. And I have to say, I'm excited just to see Batman Shadow. Now I'll try to pull it up. And see if we can. I'll freeze it though. But the Warner Brothers really loves to copyright Titans. The more people are talking about the Titans finale trailer than the episode that aired tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is, right there. It's on. Yeah. So yeah, he certainly did himself no favors by doing that. But I really, you know what? There's a better way to come at that argument. There is an argument to be made about some of the, piss and saltiness.
You have to look at it from both sides. You have to look at it from the fan side and from the creator side. Both are at fault. Both are doing things that maybe they shouldn't do. You shouldn't just, especially if you're not really super involved in that fandom, then why are you even writing an article? I don't understand it.
Oh, I did a video on with Lucy Jones, who decided to pipe in and respond to one of our videos, and although she didn't say us by name, but and then she admittedly I'm not a Doctor Who fan. Then they're like, why are you here? Go away. It's like this Lucy Jones from God, I did a video on her like a week ago. She was, I forgot what rag she was from, the Independent or something like that. It's like, I know that they have a job to do. They're trying to dig stuff up, but they need, as Jeff said, if you're a writer and you're not checking your sources, and just a random YouTuber, just through doing a couple of minutes of Googling, tears your article apart, how do you have a job, bro? Would that be would they let you get away with it? You already said by calling fans idiots is not something you can do. You actually get in trouble for that, right?
I can tell you for a fact, at Fansided, if you don't source Getty images or whatever images you use, if you don't properly source, they actually have a program that they run that tells if you plagiarize something, and you will get warned about it. And they don't mess around at Fansided. They do not mess around.
Well, because Fansided is run by Sports Illustrated, something big, right?
Entertainment Weekly is their big publication, and you have to cite everything I do. I might make some conjecture, but what I do is, in one article I wrote about Stephen Yoon joining the Twilight Zone in an episode called The Traveler. Nobody knows what this episode is about, but I started looking into Twilight Zones, and I found something that sounded like it might ring true to the idea of a traveler, and I put it out there. It's one of their famous episodes, since Jordan Peele seems to be moving in the direction of redoing famous episodes. So I put it out there and I said, I don't know if this is true or not. It just sounds like it could be the storyline, but then again, it might not be, and we could all be pleasantly surprised. It could be an original script. Well, then today, Greg Kinnear was added to the Twilight Zone to that same episode, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting, because I'm wondering if Greg Kinnear might actually play the monk in what I think it might be, the episode I think it might be. I don't know. It's just conjecture. But if you're going to do that,
the Howling Man,
the Howling Man, yeah,
yeah,
there's the Howling Man, yeah, and
they're remaking that. Oh, see those? So they're remaking shit and retitling it. Why can't they just write new stories? It's the Twilight Zone.
I know, and I'm hoping that's not what it's going to be, because it's supposed to be some original stuff. I know that Adam Scott is reprising William Shatner's role. I don't know why we need that, but we're getting it. But I mean, if you're going to write conjecture, you have to add a disclaimer. That's what I always do. I'm like, I'm not saying this is true. This is just what I think. And then you can do that. But when you're basing an entire article over that, no, there's a publication like Esquire, they have fact checkers and shit.
Well, they must have missed his article. By the way, on the screen is a dead Joker. That's a dead Joker. I'm trying not to show the trailer.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
That's concerned Dick. That's hard Dick. He's looking hard.
And I see what you're doing there.
There's aggressive Dick. Oh, there's some bat ears. Look, we got a bat ears. Is that what this show's going to be? We saw some bat ears from a distance, and there's some flames. Robin versus Batman, but they're not going to show Batman's face. There's your Batman, folks. We waited all season for, and he's wearing Arkham Asylum gear. What's going on there? Talk to me, chat. What's going on there? Do you think we're going to get another view of space racist that hates black people for reasons? Richmond 2122 Pfeiffer, maybe. Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to make him make sense, you would connect him with the Daleks. That's what I thought they were going to do. No one puts fandom in the corner. You goddamn right, Von Spam. You're goddamn right. Neurotica, where Patrick Stewart reads the manual. Gary, Lady Death is probably our dream woman then. Yes, actually, she kind of is. When I saw the trailer, I was like, they gender swap Batman, but no, it's some chick. When you saw Elseworlds, no. You're gonna remake Twilight Zone, which shouldn't just recast Shatner in the Twilight Zone. Exactly. Why do you need to remake an anthology show? I mean, like, there's never a shortage of a horror of like stories you can tell that have a little horror twist, that maybe like have a moral tale at the end. Like, have you run out of
Dark is doing that on Hulu. Blumhouse's horror anthology, they're making up their own stories. But, people were hoping Jordan Peele would make up his own stories for the Twilight Zone, but it's starting to look like it just may be riffing on what we already know.
Oh, boy. God, I really wanted to root for that show, even though it was on CBS. Yeah. I
may be wrong. He may have some original scripts in there. You just don't know, but the ones that we're seeing just have the feeling like, oh, any minute now they're going to be redoing To Serve Man, and the monsters are due on Maple Street. Yeah.
Yep. Oh man, I'll just rewatch them. Like, that's the one decent. I mean, I hate to say it, we have to pay for CBS All Access. At least we can watch Twilight Zones, even though I have them on disc. Here, there you go. Let's get to. I mean, make sure I didn't miss. So you guys all saw that Batman stuff. That's exciting. I have to admit, I got a little excited about that. I got excited to see Donna Troy, which is Wonder Girl. She whipped out her golden lasso. She whipped out her lasso. She whipped it out, and it made me a little excited. It was cool. Gamer Gambit. Daleks are supposed to represent Nazis. Giving them variance makes no sense. Keep rocking the truth, Gary. Much appreciated. Thank you, Gamer Gambit. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's a throwaway line, but it's one of those throwaway lines that sticks in my head, and I think that's actually going to happen. Now, what the difference is with the Daleks? I'm doing as much research as I can. I'm not, I don't have I have a source, folks. So if you know anybody who wants to I don't know, email me and give me some inside info, nerderotics@gmail.com, or DM me on Twitter at any time. But yeah, I'm trying to figure out what's going on. But yes, I'm not 100% sure the Daleks are coming back. I wouldn't be surprised at all if they freaking teased you. And how pissed would people be, though? At this point, they're bringing them back. They wouldn't say most dangerous DNA in the universe. They would not do that to you. If they did, then they get what they deserve. Yay, Batman, says how's your father? Yes, yay, Batman. Bryce Douglas, if Donna's lasso didn't get wrapped around and tie up Dick, then I don't want to watch. Well, I mean, in this show, Bryce, I think they actually might do that. Is the Doctor a Dalek? Well, they always, Stephen Moffat was always fond of the Daleks going, "You would make a good Dalek." Yeah. 400s PM on pattern with just 14K subs is incredible. It shows how good Neurotic is. Wow. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Yeah, it's crazy, James. It really is. It's surreal. Actually, it's funny that Mrs. Neurotic has actually noticed the channel now.
Really?
She isn't watching yet, or she'll come on once in a while. Yeah, she just noticed. She's like, "Oh, I suppose it's a thing. It's cute. Bye. Yeah. She's gonna come on again. She's definitely gonna be on to review The Expanse when it comes and stuff. But she's gonna come on Friday Night Tights. But right now during the holidays, she's very busy, so she can't. Holy shit, Gary said something positive. Intellectual flatulence. I say stuff though. You talking about my Spider-Man review? I love Spider-Man. I dug it. Most dangerous DNA in the universe. It really just a race of Donald Trump's. Yes, that's what it'll probably be. Keeps Gary out of trouble. Yes, this show keeps me out of trouble. Oh fuck yeah. I think I liked it because RTD did very well. Russell T. Davies, somebody who we missed. I always thought their DNA was non-gendered. It is, Mary, but these are troubled times we're in, Mary. Yeah, because all that shit counts now. I look forward to the day where it doesn't, where it's just people are hired because they're people and it doesn't matter, and we just have fun. I mean, that's not
crazy now.
Yeah, I know it's not going to happen, but I just, I can wish. Well, Adidas Singh Exozone today. Well, it depends on where you are. If you're where I am, it's tomorrow. But if you're in Australia or in Europe, it might be tomorrow already. You might be in the future from me, Adidas. So yes, Exozone is at 7 p.m. Pacific time, Saturday, the 15th. Yeah, 15th, 12:15. I will be joining Dictor Van Doomcock on his channel. It's on his channel, and we will be having a good time. I will practice my voice to see if I can do one of those 5 to 6 hour live streams. That'll be fun. Was hoping you'd talk about Brightburn. Yes, Brightburn. God damn it.
I love that trailer.
Yeah, let's can I mean like read some can you read some chat while I watch that? Yeah.
Sure.
And then yeah, we can wrap things up after that. But I did
Richmond
promise to
said
talk about that.
Richmond says, I gotta say, I agree that the outrage is more entertaining than the actual shows now. It led me to your channel, and your reviews are the best part by far. Well, thank you for that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's also sad in a sense, though, that that's the way it is now. But if they would give us better products, we wouldn't have to bitch about it. Need better writing, better direction, all that stuff. Let's see here. Going down the chat. Bye, Tarka Jedi. Thanks for stopping
Good
by.
day, Tarka Jedi. Oh, okay. So this is like if Superman was evil.
It's Superman.
Is that what it is? I mean, I don't know. That's what I heard somebody say. So it looks like
Oh, yeah.
Smallville.
Actually, there is a very big parallel between Superman and Brightburn. It's Superman Dark, basically.
Okay. Well, I mean, there is a comic called Irredeemable, which is kind of that too. It's not from Birth though. Well, it kind of is, but
Well, I mean, with Brightburn, this couple, much like the Kents, were praying for a baby and it never happened. And then one night a baby appears from out of the sky, literally, and they raise it as their own. But then he becomes curious about his origins. And then that's when all the fun starts. Dynamo 75, is that your latest picture I'm seeing on the stream? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And how much is bad writing and how much is BBC interference? I think SBG that it's a combination of both. I think there is interference from the BBC. I think that they're making suggestions. I'm thinking that their censors are probably looking at what's being written for Doctor Who. I think that, I'm not defending Chris Chibnall, but perhaps maybe he's hamstrung and he can't do what he wants to do. I'm still thinking that may be it. But yeah, the writing could be better. Every writer has some sort of constraint. But, in the case of Doctor Who, they need to step it up. Really. I hope season 12 maybe gets better. I have doubts, but, we can only hope at this point.
yeah.
Now, High Desert wants to know, is DC still doing the Injustice comic? Do you know, Gary?
Yeah, they're still it's the game and they're running the comic. So is there some yeah, is that they must have there's been a ton of Dark Superman stories already. So they must have like cleared it with somebody, or this must not plagiarism is really tough to prove when it's been done a million times. So
Brightburn, I think what James Gunn's going for with Brightburn as a producer is a horror take. This is definitely going to be gory. This is definitely going to have blood. So it's not going to be straight up dark Superman. I mean, it's going to be based on it, but there's going to be a horror element. That's how they're pitching it.
And it's just Superboy. So it's just going to be him as a kid.
Yeah.
Irredeemable is a great book by the not so great Mark Waid now, where Superman basically loses his fucking mind, and like all the villains and heroes have to team up just to take him down because things have gotten so bad, and it's so good. Oh my god, it's good. I fucking loved it so much. The art's kind of meh sometimes, but holy shit, does it get dark.
Bowman wants to know, is the show Travelers any good?
What I've seen of it, it's not bad. It's like an average show. I never wanted to stick with it, but God, compared to Who, it's fucking masterpiece. The Orville is the true Star Trek. You're right, Aditya. Absolutely. Right now, the Orville is the Star Trek that we need. It really is. Brightburn looks pretty dope. I'm gonna watch it. Yeah. I'm gonna see it. That was a good trailer.
I was excited by it. I mean, I was glad to see that James Gunn is back in some form. He's producing that. I think it's interesting. I mean, immediately when they did the photography for the trailer, I was like, "Holy crap, it's like Superman." And, sure enough, that's what I think they're going for, but it's definitely going to be a little more horrific.
Yep. And don't be surprised, folks, if you see a James Gunn directing a Superman within 5 years. Like maybe this was a little, like, of course, this is a project he wanted to do, but this is like his name being attached. Like, shit, I mean, this is, of course, Sony, but now he's working for DC, just writing like Suicide Squad 2.
Yeah.
And in a few years, he could be running the whole DC cinematic universe if it takes off. If it takes off. Now, I had a friend who saw Aquaman. He's a comic fan. He said it was the greatest thing since sliced bread. So we'll see.
Really?
Yep.
We'll see. Okay.
We'll see. Yeah. We will see. I've got to say that Spider-Man was pretty fucking good. The Spider-Verse was really good.
Or Sandstone 5 says Rotten Tomatoes has the Orville at 26% critics versus 93% viewers. Okay, Rotten Tomatoes, I realize that, if you want to save a show, if you want to do something, you've got to go on Rotten Tomatoes and rate it. Same with IMDb. The industry looks at it. But whoever does the fucking algorithms for that, they make absolutely no sense. And when I see somebody go, I'm a proud Rotten Tomatoes critic, I just want to puke coat hangers.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck? I'm sorry. Some of my writers are Rotten Tomatoes people. Sorry, guys. Sorry. But I don't like Rotten Tomatoes. I think it's arbitrary. I think it's a bunch of shit. I don't know what they're talking about half the time. And if you've got 93% versus the critics, what the just shut up.
Yeah,
shut up.
Especially the Orville. I mean, that sounds like, I don't know, maybe I should do a video on that, like a reverse video from Doctor Who, because that's well, I think that's a great example of just another. We need more examples of access media and shill media. Like that is bad. Like
it is. I don't
ridiculously bad.
I mean, the critics are probably these people that are like, oh, well, this Orville is just not science fiction. It's not what we're looking at. And it's like, you know what? Remember the original series, Star Trek, the original series? The Orville has better special effects. But Seth MacFarlane is a Star Trek freak. And a Star Wars freak. He's going to do it right. He knows what he's doing. Okay? Let him be. Yeah. Let him do him.
And they're actually good. I mean,
they are.
I think there is, I'll straight up say it. I suspect there might be some CBS involvement. Maybe not. I wouldn't put it past any company to try to do whatever it could to make its show look better. And the Orville makes Star Trek Discovery straight up look bad. And it's funny. I don't know like how much people would love the Orville if Star Trek Discovery didn't exist. I think that does factor into it, that Star Trek Discovery sucks so bad that people are just gravitating towards the Orville. And I'm wondering how the Orville would do on its own. And I think it's no mistake that the Orville comes out like 3 weeks before Star Trek Discovery. As a matter of fact, they're doing it. Their first episode is a Sunday, and then they're bringing out their second episode 4 days later, which just happens to be the day the short trek comes out. That's weird. What a coincidence.
There's probably competition. I mean, Seth probably knows what he's doing.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he does know what he's doing. I mean, he's been around. He's got, I don't know when he sleeps. He frankly amazes the hell out of me. I love you, Seth. I love you. I'm just going to say that right now. I just love you. So yeah, I don't know. Right. He amazes me.
No, he's a super creative. So kind of like my wife, like they can just go on a whole nother level for hours, produce like top quality stuff all the fucking time, not just like once in a while, all the time. And yeah, it's just people on another level. I marvel at that stuff and I find it inspiring.
Well, I know I'm a little worried about the fate of Cosmos too now. With the controversy that's going on with Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of him. I'm not. I've never been. I think he's kind of a blowhard fucker, but like I know people like him, and that's cool. And I still don't. I don't think. Weren't they old? Weren't they old allegations? He's kind of
Yeah,
he's a super skeptic on UFOs. So yeah, I got a kind of a thing against him. All right, I know he's popular with some people, but I don't like him. But,
he's okay with me. I just get a little annoyed with his movie reviews. It's like, okay, can I just please enjoy Interstellar? Thanks.
yeah,
Let me just enjoy that. Kip Thorne was the consultant on it. He's a string theorist. Let me just enjoy this. Okay. Don't ruin it for me. That kind of stuff irritates the hell out of me.
yeah. It's like let the people have some fun. Come on, man. Don't have to ruin
Yeah.
everything. Plus, I mean, let's just remember that, yeah, I read somewhere that they have to redo the math on the universe because they got it wrong. It's like you're gonna like everything you think you know now will be half of it will be turned upside down within 10 years. It's a fact.
Yeah.
And that part is fun. It's fun to watch. Let's get to Daniel Nolan. I like the Irredeemable comic, but the writer creator is the biggest jerk on the planet, and I refuse to support his work ever again. Daniel Nolan, amen, brother. I will never, when I open my store, this is going to be hard on me. I'm not carrying anything by Mark Waid. Nothing, zero, nada, zip, bubkiss. You know what I'll replace it with? I'll put a Cyberfrog comic in that place or something. The Injustice games are fun, Gamer Gambit. Those are I don't like regularly game with them, but they are like fun to screw around in, which is like kind of all I ever do with that. Yeah, I don't hate gaming, folks. I'll get trapped into it and then I'll never produce a video or draw again or see my family. Like I got like way too into Diablo 2. Like it was like World of Warcraft guy, but beforehand, like I wasn't, like a skinny World of Warcraft guy. Dark Angel Ire, how's it going? Yeah, Brightbird looks cool. What do I think of Tom King? Why would you ask me that, Mako? You know I'm mad at Tom King. Tom King, the writer of Batman. I quite liked him. His Mr. Miracle was great. And then he was part of that wedding fiasco that really screwed over retailers. Batman, the whole fake wedding thing. They retailers like had an event planned and everything. Turns out the wedding didn't happen, and of course it shouldn't. And I was saying that all along. It's like Batman should never be fucking married. But if you're gonna say he's gonna get married, then get married and then show how bad of an idea it is, especially that Catwoman. Like you don't marry the dangerous girl. You just don't. She's gonna break your heart, man. Break your heart, smash it in two. And yeah, it's I thoroughly dislike him because he actually got a friend of mine in trouble, and he got a friend of mine in trouble over that fiasco, and he did it in a very punk way. And I will, I'll forgive anybody, but I'd love to tell him to his face. But my friend would probably get mad at me. So I'm just going to say I have loyalty to that friend and I'm pissed because he screwed that friend over big time. So Tom King, yeah, he's kind of a jerk, jerk face. He did a jerky thing. I don't know if I don't want to paint his whole life as a jerk, but he did a bad thing. They also DC spoiled it before it came out because they knew they had to soften the blow because they for some reason had not thought about it until a couple of big retailers found out. Here's what happened. A couple of big retailers found out, called them and went, "What the entire fuck are you doing?" And DC went, "What? We're not going to do the marriage." And you're like, "You're fucking kidding, right?" One of the stores had an actual marriage set up. An actual wedding set up
Wow.
to coincide with it. and events planned, and then DC went out and spoiled it to soften the blow, and then it just, yeah, and then they had to make the book returnable. It would have been one of the biggest selling comics of all time, and they turned it into it's a prime example why Dan Didio is a fucking idiot, and he should never be in comics. Sorry, I've been saying that for a decade. He's an idiot when it comes to comics, and not him personally. I'm sorry. I'm sure he's a fine person, but his decision making within comic books is horrible. Always has been. He's got no instincts. He has no nose for it. I don't know how he got the job. He's nice. He's an amiable guy, I guess. Did you want to join us for the Spider-Verse review in a few minutes? I can't, Tom. I've been going since 7, and I have work I have to go see my wife. I'll listen though. I loved it. I don't know. I might be going against the grain on that one, but I thought it was fucking awesome. What the fuck is Smiling? Yeah, Smiling Spock. Oh, that's another thing I want to talk about. Star Trek, one of the biggest problems with Alex Kurtzman in Star Trek is they're making the same mistakes DC Warner Brothers did with Justice League, is they want to have their dessert first. And that's what they think going to the mirror universe in the first season's dumb. Like, that's something you build. You don't do the alternate thing first. And then you don't bring in Spock. And then when they bring in Spock, they do the emotional Spock thing, which is supposed to be the thing you build up to. You get years and years of, non-emotional Spock, and then it's supposed to mean something. And it just shows you where they're coming from as creators. They're just like dessert first people, and that's why it's crap. Breaking news: Star Trek Discovery is asked by CBS All Access as well as advertisers and Netflix to extend season 2 up by 4 episodes. I heard they added an episode, Intellectual Flatulence. Is that true? There we go. Breaking news. Star Trek Discovery asked by CBS All Access as well as advertisers and Netflix to extend season 2 by up to 4 episodes. So they want, they've got 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. That's weird. Why? Why would somebody ask for more episodes? Did the ending suck? They must have saw the end and go, we need more episodes because that made no fucking sense. That would be my guess. I don't know.
Every time I see Spock, I think, the new Spock 2.0, I can't help but see a veiled attempt, not so veiled attempt at desperation marketing. Maybe if we throw a hipster Spock in here, maybe that'll get a certain demographic.
Whole Foods people really want to see. Oh my God, here it says right here. Space.com. Can I share? I'm going to share this with everybody because this headline is it says it all right here, folks. Season 2 of Star Trek Discovery is Spocktacular. Ha!
No, they didn't just say that.
They did. Spocktacular.
Who the fuck said that?
Oh my God. They own Funko
Do you know
Pops.
that Leonard Nimoy is probably doing a 360 right now?
Yeah, he's
along with Gene Roddenberry.
Yes. Kurtzman does need to be visited by the ghost of Christmas past, present, and future. It'll be Gene Roddenberry, Spock, and Doomcock.
But
Doomcock's alive.
There could be a light at the end of the tunnel, though, with Van Sitter.
Yeah, I think there is. I think Doomcock is report. I think there really is. I think there's something to that. He seems like a Star Trek guy, and
he is. Have you seen his Twitter feed?
Yeah. Yes, yeah, I did. And that.
Yeah, he's legit. I mean, and from what I've read and stuff, I agree with Doomcock. I think he's there for legal reasons. Well, because he's passionate about it. But I think he's there for the mere fact that because there's a 5-year deal in play, if they renege on it, they're going to have to do a huge payout. There's going to be litigation. It's much like sports. So Van Sitter basically is going to be the guy that calls the shots. And I don't know what Kurtzman will be doing at that point, but maybe he can get it back on track. I want to be hopeful.
I do too, even though it's not a strategy. And I said in my video today, and I'll stick with my. He got Scrooged. Kurtzman got Scrooged. I think Van Sitters is there to watch over his eventual demise. He's going to be a consultant because if you read their two agreements, they use different language as to what they're actually working on, but it's the same goddamn sentence. It's like it's going to work across Star Trek and all brands doing this and this. The key one was creative consultant in the writer's room. That was the one that really stood out to me that Van Siders is going to be. And it's like, ooh, he's going to be a brand manager and he's working in the writer's room. Well, that's a showrunner. That's a showrunner or a co-showrunner. And why would somebody they just inked Kurtzman for till 2023. And all of a sudden they're getting him assistant. What Mead has been reporting, what I have been reporting, what Doomcock has been reporting is spot fucking on. That is almost like 100% proof right there.
Well, it's all Hollywood industry speak with the brand shit and all that stuff. It's basically Kurtzman's getting a babysitter. That's what it is. And, if he's sitting in the writer's room, that's going to be to keep them on track. Whomever gave Kurtzman that 5-year deal, that was just, they need their head examined.
Yeah, they really do. I think it's just they get bullshit. What Kurtzman is from Bad Robot, they are really good at the art of bullshit. I mean, Akiva Goldsman's still getting jobs. I was talking about this on Titans. That guy must just be really good at bullshit because these people don't really pay attention. Because if they did and they saw what people actually thought of their actual work, they would not get fucking jobs. Akiva Goldsman should not be anywhere fucking near Robin, the character of Robin. But because he worked on Batman and Robin, they went, oh, he worked on Batman and Robin, sign him. Okay, where's some coke that I can chug off somebody's butt? That's pretty much where butt chugging comes from, by the way. What did I see? Gary, almost a year ago on a different channel, I said STD is the show that gives you dessert and makes you try to figure out what the fuck what it was you had for dinner. Exactly. Yeah, you're right. Fucking quail. That's not a good pick of Susan. The shadow looks like she has a goatee. Only from afar away. Fucking quail. That's not nice. Glad to catch the tail end of this drinking whiskey and catching up on letter. What's Letterkenny? What's Letterkenny? Do you know what Letterkenny is, Susan?
No, I don't know what that.
DJ Bowman. Oh, I just saw something about the Orville. Stewie asked the Star Trek cast question, and they explained how to water your lawn. LOL plumbing. Gotcha, Family Guy. Oh, I just lost that. No, says Dark Angel R. I don't know what that's about. Trying to wrap up the chat here because we do the Orville season 2 will start December 30th. Oh my fucking god. I know, John, I'm freaking stoked. That is we are 2 weeks away. 2 weeks away from the Orville. Can't fucking wait.
Yeah.
And we're getting 2 episodes with it, like I said, in 4 days. So yeah, and you were a fan. Obviously, you're a fan of Seth MacFarlane, so you watched them all. Were you on board? Like it took me a second to get there. I'll freely admit.
I was on board from the get-go. I was like, I got to see this show. I want to see what this is about. I was excited for it. I watched it and I was sold. I mean, I was like, yep, this is one of my new shows. I'm happy about this. I liked it from the get-go.
Yeah, it took me like 3 shows to get into it, but it took a while because I had to go back to it, and then because I'm not a huge Seth MacFarlane fan. I don't like I didn't like Family Guy or anything like that, but I am now, big time on this, big time. Finally, Gary will have something positive to say. Oh God, yeah. Every time I see your name in the chat and the line from the song and Mary Poppins, no wonder why that's Mary. Oh, Mary Ashmead. I was hooked from the first trailer. Yeah, I wasn't, but glad I did. 2 weeks away from Orville, 2 days away from another Counterpart episode. Fucking A, Mako. That's right. actually tomorrow night, but I'm not going to review it tomorrow night because I will be on the Exozone. Longer the Orville. Sorry, what's that?
No, I was just gonna say I saw Filthy Farmer say he can't stand Seth either, and Seth is I guess an acquired taste, so to speak. I don't know. I've always liked him for whatever reason.
Yeah, I just didn't like Family Guy. I didn't mind him.
Yeah.
Well, you know what else helped me with when he was throwing shade at Weinstein at the Academy Awards, and it turns out like all that shit was true, by the way.
Oh yeah.
And he had the balls enough to do that. Like his respect with me just went poof, through the roof. I'm like, okay, he's my fucking hero now.
Well, I loved his talk at the Academy Awards, and everybody hated it. I thought he was one of the better hosts, but that's just me.
They should have him back. I am a huge fan of it now, and I can't fucking wait. I can't wait. That's the only bad thing is it's not on Blu-ray, so I'm gonna have to make my own. I can, but I mean, it's somebody just asked if we're gonna be Orville Rocks. I want to go back there where it was right below that. Yes, DJ Bowman. I will be covering every episode. The Orville Susan's, of course. You can join me if you'd like.
I would love that.
Yeah. So we will be on 15 minutes after it airs on the East Coast, which I believe it's an 8 o'clock show. So that means it'll be 5 my time. It'll end at 6 my time. So like 6:15 or 7:15, one of those two times. DJ Bowman, we will be live after every episode. Damn right. I'm thinking about doing a new little format that might be it'll be the best of both worlds. It'll be a way you can get a review and then we can talk about something as long as we want. So there won't, because I like to keep our reviews under 25 minutes now, because it seems that's just we get more clicks that way. But if I could probably do a review and then you and I could just do like a talk and we can talk to people for a couple of hours, then it wouldn't matter. Yeah. It depends. We'll see what you guys like. But yeah, it kind of sucks putting the time limit. I mean, like Dennis and I used to do an hour on everything, and we'll do that with some of the bigger shows like Mr. Robot and stuff. But like, honestly, Orville, it's, there's not a lot of twisting of the plot going on, but, I think there'll be so much love. There'll be plenty of talk about on that one. So, I hope Charlize Theron will come back in season 2. She was cool. They're going to have Liam Neeson in this one, right?
Of course.
Yes.
They got to have Liam.
The guest stars are like
Rob Lowe last season blew me away.
That
whole episode. And I'm glad to see that Seth's co-star for once, his ex-wife on the show, is actually somebody that's not 12 years old. So that's always nice.
Yeah, that's a rarity.
Yeah. Although I think he's dating the girl that I forget her name.
The one who's like going to be off the show for most of the season. According to Egotastic Fun Time, she's not going to be in most of the season. I
wonder why.
She's like my favorite character.
She's good. I mean, I think that's when he's with. I wonder if there's something happening there.
Someday I'm gonna have to tell you the story of my tiny hand and the light bulb. Easy. The tiny hand is I like tiny hands. No, I was at an AA meeting, and I saw this hand sitting on a chair, a severed doll's hand sitting on a chair at an AA meeting in San Francisco. I'm like,
so Dexter.
Yeah, right. So I am an artiste. And I kind of see art in everything. And sometimes I'll see like, I don't know, this is like a good example. So I'll see something, I'll go, I can use that for something. Took it, it's like something that was going to get thrown away. And then there's this horrible thing on this microphone that I hate right here. And I'm like, oh, that'll cover that perfectly. There you go. Boom. Instant art. The light bulb, OG Spock Love, that thing has been with me almost my entire life. I remember going to the store and it's my earliest memory. I was 4. I went to the light store, whatever the light store was in 1973. And my dad let me pick something out for like the first time in my life. So I picked this out, and my sister picked out a green one. I had a green base. I had a yellow base. That thing has been with me. It comes with me everywhere. I went. Melissa, when we dated in high school, wanted it so bad she offered me money for it. I'm all no. So she always said that she married me as a way to get the light, but she doesn't have it yet because it's still here.
Oh,
But official Dougie J, who's in the chat, he's known me forever, and that light has been with me forever. So now you know the story of the light bulb. The reason I don't turn it on because it blows it out the screen. It's too bright. I got to put in a dimmer bulb. Maybe if I just take the one out of my head and put it in the light, it might work. But you hire, who you hire to do Trek? Someone who loves it and is running it as their dream, not just somebody who knows how much money they can make selling babbles. Yeah, fucking A, right? Fucking quail. Exactly. They hired Kurtzman because he made a lot of money, which he really had nothing to do. And they were able to bullshit their way in. It's just like most of these studies and everything. When you actually crunch the numbers and see the reality of the situation, you see Kurtzman is a miserable failure. But he's been able to spin his way into success, and people give him jobs because he's a fucking car salesman. He's a good one. He's a goddamn good one. Him and J.J. Abrams are fucking good at snake oil and bullshit. Yeah, look at all their finished products when things are done. When things are all said and done, look what they've done. What's their legacy? What's J.J. Abrams' legacy? Alias, okay. Lost, okay. Fringe, okay. What was that? Dawson's Creek or Felicity. Felicity, yeah. Felicity might be the only thing he finished that was decent. He's done a couple of good things, but there's people out there who are much better who aren't getting big deals, like Noah Hawley.
But does Noah want big deals?
I don't know if he does.
Yeah,
I don't think he's about that.
That don't. I mean, maybe he really digs what he's doing. He's doing a quality show. Pardon me. Maybe that's maybe that's his thing. You never know.
Yeah. Oh, so Liam Neeson, yeah, that's right. He was last year. I heard there was like big guest stars this year. I don't know who it was, but I heard what I did read today on the Orville is what's his wife's name again?
Oh crap.
I forgot. She's moved on and she's dating again, and it might be a woman or something like that.
Oh, and that's really gonna turn him upside down.
Yeah.
He still loves her.
Well, maybe if Rob Lowe shows up again. That episode was funny. Kurtzman made money selling a brand that anyone who could have made money. I mean, yeah, Kurtzman's like, I love when they call him a co-creator of Star Trek Discovery. Okay, I guess you co-created that show, but yeah. So what you did was you put like a nasty version of chocolate sauce on like the most perfect vanilla ice cream ever created, and some idiots bought it. So, like me. And then set it on fire in a barbecue. Seth did try to pitch Trek show. He did. Good night, Penn. Yeah, we're gonna here. I'm gonna show the Patreon video. We got to wrap things up. This is like going way too late for my dear Susan here. So I could go on forever, but I guess the Midnights of Edge are about to stream, and I actually got to work on the website. Sorry, folks, I'm like really behind on the website. I'll fix that. So we have a website. It's called nerderotic.com. So if anything happens to this channel, that's where everything's backed up. Basically, the website is for iTunes. So we are on iTunes. We are on Player FM. We are no longer on SoundCloud because I'm too cheap. And it's an extra thing to do. You can just go listen to us at the website if you want. It's easy to listen to us at nerderotic.com or on YouTube. We also have patreon.com/nerderotic, where you get stuff at the end of this video. You'll see the stuff. Thank you. We have some new patrons that I have to thank out loud because they're not on the video yet. That's going to change soon. Lots of new patrons, man. That is awesome. That is just awesome. You guys, I can't thank you enough. I've been able to do this for the last couple months. I recently quit my job because I'm going into another line of work, and I've been just doing this full time in the meantime till I went to like go in that other work. And this is actually really fun. I started editing videos, which I used to edit professionally. I kind of put it down. I've kind of dusted off the editing, and it's been kind of fun. Wow. Holy shit. Okay. Damn. We have a lot of new patrons. So Donald Carlson, thank you for your $5 pledge. Welcome. James Austin Woods, $15 tier, but you're going to be getting a box of stuff. And Donald, you're going to be getting some comic books. It's Just Plain Joe for $5. OG Spock Love. Oh, love you, OG Spock Love, for $1. Dave Reviews for $15. Welcome. Gamer Gambit, $15. What's up, buddy? Thank you so much for joining up. $1 from John Pont. John, I'm going to mess up your last name. I'm really sorry. Pontorero. That's close, right? $1 from Ren Loves. And $1 pledge from Jason Remington. Lee Crystal, $1. That is awesome. So for as little as $1, you get I do the Nerdrotic Nooner. I do one on Tuesday and Thursday. You're getting Expanse commentaries. We're doing watch parties. We do watch parties like the fun way because I find a way for all of you to actually watch it. Okay. So what I do, I don't really want to say it here. We'll just say, you're able to watch. We'll just say that. You got to find out on Patreon. But when we do watch parties, we have a central location where we can all watch the same video. You know what I'm saying? So you're not like having to look it up yourself. And it's at a place where it'll play on anything. So our next watch party is going to be Counterpart. We're going to do the first 2 episodes of season 2 this Sunday. I haven't picked a time yet, but I thought it was a lot of fun. We were on Discord, and a lot of us, like, people would jump in or like, is there a watch party going on? Well, we're watching the episode, which is like so not the point of a watch party, but I thought it was funny. Yeah. And we got another ding dang super chat, you guys. This is, hey, Gary, happy to see you're still going. Just woke up over here in Sweden. Have you done the Christmas ideas script? Yes. Ridiculous reptile reviews. I am almost done. It has taken me a long time. Now I don't really script anything. I'm sure you can tell. I just kind of talk. But I've been trying to like sift through and find the best ones that fit like a narrative. And that's been kind of tough. So I'm going to like hunker down and just get it done tomorrow because it's going to be 2 videos, ridiculous reptile reviews. So thank you so much for the 50 Swedish dollars. Sweden. We love Sweden. Oh my God. I love Europe. Mr. Twisted 72 for the Mighty Wrench is $2. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. And Gamer Gambit, $1.99. Counterpart is the answer for bad shows like STD. Bless you, Gamer Gambit. Absolutely. Folks, Counterpart. Watch Counterpart. Trust me on this. It's worth your money to Starz. Starz is actually, I mean, they produce good stuff. They fuck it up, but like they made Ash versus Evil Dead, which I mean, it's right there with Cobra Kai as far as their first 2 seasons is how you bring back a franchise. That's exactly how you do it. What Ash versus Evil Dead did in the first 2 seasons and Cobra Kai did in its first season is how you bring back an old franchise, modernize it while still showing respect to the old canon and the fans.
Damn Skippy.
Yep. And, unfortunately, fucking Sam Raimi is coming back, folks. He's making
Sam Raimi is going to be doing cons. I'm excited about that.
That means he's coming back. He was stung.
I don't know if he's coming back because he's got a lot of production things. He just signed on to produce James Herbert's Shrine. So he's going to be doing cons, but they're going to be limited. At least that's what Bruce is saying, and I know that Dangerous Entertainment has him. So once I find out more particulars about it, everybody I'm sure will know. But I'm excited because I'm thinking if Sam does cons, he's probably only going to show up in major cities.
Gotcha. So he'll probably show up at San Diego.
Yeah, yeah. And well, they're not gonna. I don't think they're doing SDCC. Definitely not, because they don't have a project. But I think because Bruce is doing Flashback Weekend in Chicago, they may show up there. I don't know if Sam will show up for Sketchfest January 20th in San Fran, but yeah, he's gonna be out and about. And if he's anywhere near me, I'm probably gonna go travel to see him. And maybe
Awesome.
if I'm lucky, maybe I'll talk to him and have an
Oh
interview.
yeah, Sketchfest is when is it? It's soon,
It's
right?
Well, Bruce is going to be there January 20th to have an Evil
Yeah.
Dead 2 watch party.
I have tickets for that. I got to remind myself that I have
Yep.
tickets for that. Yes.
Yep. You'll have to tell me how that goes.
I bet you it'll be pretty fun.
Oh yeah.
I will though. I will. I wish you could go. I wish you could go.
I know. I want to go. So close to my birthday, it would be a great birthday gift.
Oh yeah. That would actually. When's your birthday? Do you want to say it out loud or
I don't know. It's gonna be.
Probably. It's up to you.
Well, I mean, it's February. It's February 1st.
Okay.
So yeah.
Mine's August 18th. There you go. February 1st,
Right.
August 18th.
You're Leo. You're my opposite.
Yep. You are Pisces or no?
No, I'm an Aquarius.
Aquarius. There you go. Yeah, that's right. Pisces is later February. That's right. The movie Fanobi for $1.99. I'm taking the super chats here. So movie Fanobi, $1.99, $1.99, $1.99, and $1.99. Thank you, movie Fanobi. You are the best silhouetted animator for $5. The Doctor 14 Blu-rays, Blu-ray reviews. Sorry, £2. The Doctor 14 Blu-ray reviews, £5. Thank you so much, Lloyd, for $2. Paul Thonkum for $2. Paul Thonkum for $2. Silhouetted animator for $2. Matt McCoy, motherfucker, for $20. I know you, dude. He uses the same thing for his Facebook. Nicholas Horton for £2. Brian Smart for $10. Man, one of our oldest subs right there. James for £5. Adjacent Culture for £1.99. Is Ryan tied into the Hollywood shill apparatus? Is Rianne? I don't know how the hell that wasn't there earlier and now it is. I don't know how I missed that, Adjacent. I am so sorry. That came out a long time ago. I suck. It must have been under that one. Oh god dang it. I'm sorry. So yeah, I'll give you double props for that, Adjacent Culture. I'm sorry. Is Rianne is tied into the Hollywood shill apparatus, and he doesn't have to be directly because Disney has so much control that a lot of people who are writing, especially with directly involved with Disney products, are they're not in fear, but they definitely check themselves. They definitely write everything on the very nice side. People are critical of Disney. I've read it, but not often. And the more control they have, the less critical people will be, unless you are a person of integrity like Susan, who doesn't give two shits and will say what you want.
Well, Rian is having a huge, I want to say, renaissance because of Knives Out. Everybody is saying how great this movie is. It's all-star. Jamie Lee Curtis is in it, and she's been tweeting about it. And Daniel Craig's in it. And, you think it's like the second coming.
I think that sounds a little... It sounds like to me that they're trying to rebuild up his career. It sounds like they're trying a little too hard for that one. He's done. He can go make indie films and stuff like that, but as far as like where the bucks are, the genre stuff, he's done. He can't come back. His name is Mud. Zack Snyder could come back faster than he can. Like when you're done in this crowd, you're done. Like unless you go out and show some humility, which I mean, people would forgive him tomorrow if he just came out and said, "I'm sorry, I made a piece of shit." It'd be over. Everything would be over. But no, the one thing about Rianne is he's one of those good bullshitters, and I'm sure he's got it rationalized in his brain that we're just a bunch of idiots for not understanding his movie. And like, dude, your movie, like his movie is like technically bad. It's everything about it is bad. It's filled with plot holes and it's bad. Knives Out. People might see it to hate watch it. But I bet you're right. I bet you it's going to win awards and people are going to go crazy over it.
Yeah.
Almost predictable. £5, 5 for reaching 14,000 subs, 50K by the end of 2019. That'd be awesome. But I'm grateful where we're at. Thank you, James. Gregory Ramirez for $2. Gamer Gambit for $4.99. Gamer Gambit for $1.99. Mr. Twisted 72 for $2. And of course, the Ridiculed Reptile Reviews for 50 Swedish dollars. I love gold. That's not Swedish though. Or was it? I can't remember now. Hey, we still have people watching. That's cool. So we're gonna Susan, plug your wares.
Sure. You can find me at 1428 Elm. You can also find me here every Friday Night Tights. Every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch me on Horror Talk with 1428elm.com on the Midnight's Edge channel after dark. You can find me there. On Instagram, I'm at De Facto Scribe. And I'm also on Facebook. And like I said before, you guys stay tuned because I'm going to be chatting with Michael Ironside on Tuesday. So there's going to be a pretty big interview coming out of that. So stay tuned.
Oh, hell yeah. Can't wait for that. And I'll share it everywhere and just let me know what I can do to help.
Sure.
And to get the word out on that, other than like just shouting it out here every day, I will. And it's going to be over at 1428. So I will tell people to go over there and I'll put links in the description. Support Susan when you can, please.
Thank you.
She works hard. She does things the right way. And we need to really reward that because there's so many, we take a lot of shots at people in her profession, but the reason we have her here is because they're not all bad. And there's actually a lot of them out there who just do this shit because they love it. And and they're not shills. But shills, shills don't help anything. They don't. They help dilute the ether. They piss in the pool of honesty. Okay. And it's pissed in enough. It's got like floaters in there and everything right now. We don't need anybody adding to it. Okay. So that's it, everybody. Thank you for staying with us for this long.
Yeah. Thank you.
You guys are awesome. Thanks to the Ranch Pen Farm Girl, Mako, Johnny Pappas, Sculpted Leather Art by Viking Bitch, Kato Roan. I don't know if Kato's still around. It's probably pretty late for Kato. Am I missing one? I hope I'm not. Man, the DJG show. Thank you so much for your good work tonight. And real quick, I'll try to get as many people as I can in the chat. Gamer, Von Spam, Manweller, Knuckle AV, Gamer Gambit, Mr. Twisted 72, Matt Guy, OG Spock Love, one of our new patrons, by the way. Hanafi Din, Nerdrotic. I'm still waiting for nerdy porn. Well, you'll be waiting. Well, you know what nerdy porn is? Comic books. That's if my wife asked me like what kind of porn am I into? Well, I'll just this is my porn. That's my porn. It's all over my walls. 1,000 subs per week means 50K is very likely. I don't think we're going to keep up this clip, James, but that's awesome. I'm trying to ride this out as long as it goes. It will end at some point and that's okay, but thanks, James. You're awesome. Hell of a cast in Knives Out. Yeah, that is damn straight. I'm going to bed. It's time for real night all. Good night, Filthy Farmer, Ken Jack Ben. Hey, Susan Layton's in there. Go figure. Captain Robert April has left the bridge. He's left the bridge. I'm betting Starfest Denver will be a stop for Sam Raimi. Probably. If he likes the reefer, he can go there and buy it, at a store.
Where's this?
In Colorado. Well, I guess you can do that here in California now too, can't you? I just don't do that stuff.
I know Bruce does. I don't know if Sam does.
George Peter Gaidis says, Nerdrotic Channel, thank you for your review of the current Doctor Who. Hey, you're welcome, George. Thank you for checking us out and subscribing and being in the chat. You're quite welcome. Anytime. Hidden Wiki, what's up? DJ Bowman, of course, and Draven G. The Meat Crew are currently ripping apart Into the Spider-Verse. Yeah, well, I completely disagree. I 100% disagree. I thought the movie was beautiful on its own. I think what they're probably getting into is the SJW Marvel stuff, which Miles Morales is a part of, unfortunately. I don't like that stuff at all. No, I don't like Spider-Gwen. I don't like multiple Spider-Mans. I'm a Spider-Man purist. I hate Spider-Man being a part of the Avengers in the comic books, but this is a movie, so it's totally different. And as a movie, I watched it with my son, and we had a good time, man. We had a good time. So that might be an unpopular opinion with some, but you can't hate this movie. I mean, it's harmless. What's going on in comics is bad, though. It's very bad, and I'm very much against it. Very much against it. So yeah, I don't like what's going down in the comics at all. Hope I've made that clear. This is a movie, though. I liked it. Again, and yeah, that's about as far up as I go. Mage Grey Wolf, action figure expert, Matthew Gadet, Connor Brennan, and that's as far up as I can go. So yeah, so everybody, you have a good night. Say good night, Susan.
Good night, everyone.
And may the small folks sing songs of your greatness. Thank you, everybody. See you Saturday night for the Exozone.
See you guys.